The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
Why?
let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers,
You pig!
damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Sport!
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Big News Wednesday, March 20th, 2024. This sports program starts now.
Sports!
Are so damn wonderful, and the madness of March has begun. Last night, two teams stamped their tickets into the March Madness tourney. That'd be Colorado State, who beat a Virginia team that I genuinely believe we could put a squad together in this Thunderdome and beat at basketball, full regulation court, full regulation game, full actual basketball game with real refs, have Gene Steratore in there blowing the whistle.
Sure.
They had 14 points at halftime, and somehow Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the Indiana State Sycamores don't have an opportunity to get in the dance, but that Virginia team does. Now, that's not the guys on the team's fault. You guys are all good dudes.
Yep.
Guys are
Good
good
season.
dudes. Tried your best. You made it to the tournament. You're a tournament team.
Pretty cool.
With that being said, shouldn't have been. That was terrible to watch, but congrats to Colorado State and to Wagner getting a massive dub over Howard. They only had 7 active players.
God damn.
This Wagner squad, and they make it into the tourney. Tonight, there's 2 more playing games as we get excited and eager to find our way to the beautiful state of Iowa this Friday.
Hell yeah.
There's a 2,500 person occupancy that is allowed at the field house. Not the field house, the bar. We're talking about the field house, the old rec center. We will be there 11 to 2 local for the entirety of the show. Some Iowa surprises stopping by that we happen to know from the past. Roman Reigns, the undisputed universal champion of the WWE, our tribal chief of the bloodline, will be making his way to Iowa to see what the hype is all about over there with this Hawkeyes women's team that has to win an Addy for people to talk about them forever, but certainly have brought a lot of eyeballs to this women's basketball tournament. We can't wait to get over there to celebrate March Madness and also celebrate one half of the Toxic Table. That's at Boston Connor on the left with the dog shirt, and on the right, Iowa alum, a man who's from
Waterloo.
which is also the place of...
No, we're not going to go there. John Wayne Gacy did live there at one time, but no, he is from Des Plaines, Illinois. Let's just get that straight.
Okay. Anyways, going back to Iowa Friday, Ty, it's a beautiful time of year.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very excited. Very excited. It's been quite some time since I've been back on campus. So, like you said, this is the kind of the biggest deal that has been in Iowa for quite some time. So I'm very excited to see kind of what all the hullabaloo's about, see how the campus has maybe changed a little bit since I've been gone. Fieldhouse was a little bit of a shithole when I was there. I think it is kind of still.
Have they updated it?
Yeah. So the basketball court is brand new. I did see from the
nice.
So I think
Because you were a bit worried whenever they said we were going to the field house because your memories of the place was that's a dump. But we're going to go in there.
Yeah, it serves its purpose. I was on a intramural basketball team that lost a heartbreaking, championship game in the field house. So I still have some demons from that field house.
We'll get those demons out this Friday.
Exactly. But no, it'll be sweet to the last time that I can remember something this crazy being like at the field house was Obama was there my freshman year, and it was kind of the same deal where it was like, 2,500. Hey,
Of course. It was President of the United States of America.
Yeah, it was right
Our
after,
show coming in.
it was right after he had been
Pretty
elected.
similar
so-
stuff. Boy, they are going to hate that, the people who have to do this. for those big, those big places. Pat McAfee Show just compared itself to President Obama going to University of Iowa.
Well, if anyone takes
I can already see them saying.
If someone takes it like that, they're.
I just read the headline.
They're more.
These doofuses at the Pat McAfee Show compare their presence to be the same as President of the United States, Barack Obama.
Sure, and they'd be absolute morons if they wrote that down because I went there. I went to school there, so I kind of know when stuff like this happens. Like, you don't see a whole lot of big ticket things coming to the University of Iowa, setting up like a pep rally type deal or, national media coverage. Doesn't happen a whole lot. And from my recollection, the last time it was getting this much buzz and something was going back to Iowa City was when President Obama was.
So it's not us that you're comparing. You're saying Caitlin Clark's buzz.
Bingo.
Is similar to the President of the United States.
Exactly.
Because what Caitlin Clark has done, not only as an Iowa woman.
Yes.
Bingo.
For the University of Iowa, but women's college basketball as a whole.
That's right.
There is a couple of them right now that are going to be on the Mount Rushmore later that we're going to talk about probably changing the trajectory, not only of NIL and everything like that, but of the interest of college basketball women's, no offense, but Angel Reese, Dawn Staley, and Caitlin Clark.
Yep.
They're going to be the one. Now, Flo
J.
Yeah. Also awesome.
Bars.
Yeah.
Absolute bars.
Yep.
I love her mentality. I like but I think they were the ones that kind of piqued a lot of people's interest that maybe weren't watching. And then you watch the games, you're like, damn, hey, games are the real deal here. We got some real good college hoops happening. So I can't wait to get out there and experience it. It's going to be an honor. I believe there's Casey's General Store Pizza coming by at least at some point.
Hell yeah.
Heard there's been a lot of chatter. The Iowa surprise guests are going to be beautiful too.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see a couple of them.
Yeah, very excited about those as well.
Yeah, should be a good time. We need the band. Hey, band, we need something.
Need your band.
Iowa band, we need something because we're trying to piece something together and we need you. Okay?
Yep.
And we've seen that band in action.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know Ohio State says they're to biddle, but let's be honest, the Iowa marching band. I mean, is Metallica just giving a hat tip to every band in the nation? I don't think so.
See, now a lot of people would say that's not a marching band instrument, the electric guitar that was being played during the Iowa Hawkeye Big Ten Championship at halftime. But I like to say, I like people that are disruptors.
Yeah.
I like people that are innovators.
Yeah.
That halftime performance for me immediately love this band.
I mean, that was the best part of the game.
I mean, you had people
Oh, yeah.
freaking.
Yeah.
I think.
No, you caught it. You caught it. Yeah. Hey. No, he did not.
Anyways, we can't wait to get there.
Right.
Band, we need you, though.
Yeah.
If you can get a hold of Ty, that'd be fantastic
people.
news. One half of the Blue Inside Baseball.
Hey.
What we're dealing with.
Still safe.
One half of the Hammer.
Dahn.
Cowboys. Tone Diggs is here. Tone, last night we have a friend named Boston Connor who decided that he's going to be the guinea pig for all of us, that he's going to bet on all the underdogs for the entirety of the NCAA tournament.
Bingo.
Last night he went 1-1, and that's because he had to bet on this Virginia team, which, I mean, no offense to the Virginia team. I assume they're all great basketball players.
Sure. And good people.
Great people.
Good boys.
They're college kids. They're
Sweet
still trying to
boys.
figure it out. We got another but love for it. But as I was watching them play basketball last night, I was thinking to myself, this ain't what the March Madness.
And they played.
This is
basketball
worse than
like that
YMCA basketball
Can't
in Indiana. I mean, there's better players at 6 to 7 different gyms within a football throw away from this particular Thunderdome here in Indiana. I couldn't even imagine in other places. 1-1 for the underdogs. What's normal? What should we be expecting for Connor's little guinea pig test here, betting on all the underdogs?
I think it's a genius decision because there's always a 13, a 14, a 15 in recent history that will win. All you need is really one of those. Like, what am I looking? South Dakota State's plus 1,000. Okay, so he's got a whatever his units are on each bet.
100. You're going 100
$100. I didn't know if he wanted me to say it or not. He's got 100 on each dog. So if he wins that one, he basically has almost all of his money back right there already. That's just on one long shot. Okay, and there's going to be upsets. That's what March Madness is. Now, one seed is. I heard Jay Bills talking about it. One seed has won like 12 of the last 16 tournaments or something like that. So
So somebody's going to run.
Yes.
That's supposed to.
Yes, but there's always something that's not supposed to. It's a genius idea. I'm doing the same thing with the unders, I think. I did it last night. Those went 1-1. Nice. So the over-under was 1-1 last night. The favorites and dogs were 1-1 last night. We're off to a very even start in the tournament.
Seemingly a bit more interested this year. My take, me only, from my point of view, much more interested in the women's March Madness.
Yeah.
Just because, of how many storylines are potentially still trying to be finished from last year. And last year, we kind of caught the tail end of the book. Yeah. I didn't see the entire, I didn't read, I just read the last chapter of the book there in March Madness. So I was kind of in there. Not a lot of betting on the women's, right? Not a lot of people talking about, hey, need to do do this, need to do this. But I think what L. Duncan told us is like, favorites win,
take them.
underdogs lose
Right.
in that tournament.
It is notoriously very, very chalky. Like there's very little upset. So, and yes, we, as far as like the stars are concerned, we're a lot more into the women's tournament, but like you're getting these 8, 9, and I don't know about you guys. I haven't watched a ton of like mid-tier Power 5 college women's basketball this year. So I think people still know a lot more about the overall tournament on the men's side. So obviously it lends itself to more gambling on that.
Yeah, we can't wait to win it all.
That's right.
Yeah, you won 1-1, you had one loss. That's the last loss of the entire tournament.
Still up because of the fact that they're all underdogs.
Yeah, because you're getting good odds.
Bingo, great odds.
All of a sudden, your 100 is looking like 250.
Yeah, exactly. If I knew Virginia was what Virginia was, I'm glad I didn't, because if I did know, I wanted to bet on them, and that's not what the experiment's all about.
Yeah, they were bad, dude.
It was the worst basketball game I've ever seen.
I don't know if they couldn't have been like that all season. They got into the tournament. At some point, they just had to
Virginia.
forget how to play basketball.
That is what they were. That's why everybody was so pissed off about them getting in.
Even when they won the national
They can't
championship,
shoot.
that's how they played basketball.
It was a Kyle Guy.
Yeah, Kyle Guy.
Kyle Guy, Indiana native, a couple years back. Was he playing for the Kings, I think? I don't know who he's playing for now. Let's pivot away from March Madness, as we will revisit it in about 10 to 15 minutes with Reese Davis joining us.
Nice.
Because he kind of skirted through yesterday's conversation
Did.
about, because we're blaming Ty.
Right.
Sure.
We're blaming Will Compton.
Right.
Yep.
Gumpy was getting blamed.
That was fair.
How come we agree?
All of
Everybody.
those were fair.
How come we're just now finding out about Keisei Tominaga? Guy out of Nebraska. The Japanese Steph Curry. How is just now the time that I'm learning about him? He's a senior.
Yeah.
He's been doing this for years.
Come on.
I've been being told from Nebraska Cornhuskers fans. There's another person we had on who said, hey, tell us everything we need to know about this March Madness, as if we didn't follow the season at all. We obviously did. I was talking about people that maybe watch a show that didn't watch it. So I'm asking the questions that the people need. He rattled off a lot of things. He talked about a lot of teams. He talked about a lot of people. Not once did I hear a Keisei Tominaga mention.
No references.
So we're going to have to chew him out about that, but also chit-chat about where we stand, how do we feel about the bracket, and how did Virginia get in over Indiana State?
Come on.
Let's pivot away from that. Let's talk a little bit about the football. We have a big day for football today. Coach Darren Rizzi, special teams coordinator for the New Orleans Saints, has been since 2019. Before that, he was with the Dolphins. I believe he was coaching with Rutgers at some point. He'll be coming on the show in the second hour to basically lay out the rules that they're pitching at the owners' meeting this upcoming weekend in Orlando to change the kickoff play completely. We've already broken it down. I think there's been a couple changes since then on what the pitch is going to be. But basically, Coach Darren Rizzi, and I don't know if they deemed him this, the other special teams coordinator, or if he felt like he was the right person for it, he has kind of become the leader of the special teams coordinator and putting together a play that can save kickoff. Now they're going to be pitching it this weekend. Very different. Than what the kickoff has been. He'll be joining us in the second hour. And now, you talk about kickoffs, you talk about returns, because there's going to be a lot more returns with this particular kickoff if it was to be passed by the owners in the upcoming meeting. They need 24 votes.
24.
24 votes. You start doing some math, 32, 24, 2/3, 7,
3/4.
everything.
Get it, yeah.
Because that goes
On and on and on and on and
maybe
on.
2/3 the percentage that it equals. But massively known for his return ability. All-pro returner in the NFL. 14-year NFL vet. Ladies and gentlemen, his song, Staying on Business,
SOB.
currently out now on all platforms. Congrats to him on a week of promo last week. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Pac-Man Jones.
What's up, baby?
Pac, how'd promo go last week for Staying on Business SOB?
Oh, it's a real job. I got so much respect for Taylor Swift for doing what she do for 3 hours.
Yeah, oh really?
What? Oh my God. Just imagine I had 4 shows a day. I only did 4 songs. But like doing 4 songs four times.
So you're getting introduced to DJs and stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, here's Adam Pac-Man Jones, the real Pac-Man Jones. He has a new song. We just signed him to Universal. He's going to play a couple songs for you.
Right.
Okay, so now the DJ's hearing, okay, I like that. Now they're playing it. Now you're getting in rotation.
Yep, there you go.
Bingo. So that's the game.
That's the game.
I did not know that's what you were doing last
But
week.
I was performing. Like, it was Pack House where we was at. We had DJ Holiday, core DJs. It was a good experience. I was tired at the end, but I love it. It was good work.
Hey,
I thought I performed pretty good.
Congrats.
Hell
dude.
yeah, Pat.
Congrats. Only going to keep going, by the way. Got another song coming out in April, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, maybe we got some remixes coming out.
Got some remix coming out, too.
Staying on Business, SOB. Hey, worth a listen.
Oh, yeah.
Worth a listen.
Bangs.
Going to give you a little. I mean, now Connor and Gumpy all weekend, St. Patrick's Day, screaming it. And then describing people as they're staying on business, SOB.
Yep.
You know, they put in there. We have some remixes
Yeah,
too.
That's right.
we had some remixes when we came.
Yeah, we laid out a holiday one maybe. Standing on Christmas. Stand on Christmas, SOC. Who's that fatty in chimney? You know? All that stuff. We got ideas.
Yeah.
If you ever need it, we're here for you. But we're also incredibly proud. Keep going.
Appreciate it,
Congratulations.
brother.
Stay focused on it, Pack. You
Yes,
can do
sir.
great things over there. Let's do some news around the NFL. Mike Williams, formerly of the Chargers, if you do recall, released last week.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kind of out of nowhere. Didn't know what the case was going to be. Thought he was going to be on the squad. He gets released. Who's this? Well, he's the big, tall, super athletic wide receiver that the Chargers have had. Last year didn't play a lot of games, but the years before that, though, averages playing about 12, 13 games a year. Yeah, so he is big. He is a wide receiver. There's a chance he's going to miss some games, but when he's on the field, weapon. I was hoping he was going to be an Indianapolis Colt. I think there was a lot of people that were hoping he would join their team. Now he's a member of the New York Football Jets.
Yep. Wow.
Congrats to Aaron Rodgers and the Jets.
Go.
Mike Williams is signing a one-year deal worth up to $15 million with the Jets per source, says Adam Schefter. Now, we would assume that the Jets and Mike Williams had talked about the quarterback, which leads us to thinking Aaron's not going to be the vice president of the United States of America?
Correct.
No, not anymore.
Okay, we have not heard, right?
No.
The other running mate has been announced, I believe.
It has been officially announced?
Really?
I thought it was the Shanahan person.
Mike?
No, not Mike or Coach Kyle. I believe it is someone with the last name Shanahan.
So has it been leaked that they're a favorite for it, or the official news was already broke?
I don't think it's official, but I think it was reported that he is leaning towards her and not towards Rodgers.
Okay, because at some point he was leaning towards Rodgers.
Bingo.
So, like, what's real, what isn't, we don't know. But we assumed that was not reality, that Aaron Rodgers is going to be vice president. But then he puts out that tweet and he goes like, what you're saying about me is not true. Okay, that is not how I feel. I have nothing but, love for everybody that's gone through that. Had a lot of extra characters.
Yep.
Yeah.
Could have said, oh, by the way, staying on business, not VP.
There it is.
He could have
Well said.
didn't say that. So we were very flustered as we were reading it live on air. Like, is this guy actually, Mike Williams signing there kind of tells me that they've had conversations. I assume Aaron and Mike Williams have chatted. If you start looking around at that offensive side of the ball for them, you got Garrett Wilson.
Yep.
You got Mike Williams.
Yep.
You got Breece Hall in the back.
Yep.
They just signed Tyron Smith, right? They signed a guard.
Morgan Moses from the Ravens for right tackle, and then John Simpson for guard. Yep.
Okay, you got Aaron Rodgers, a quarterback. They're allegedly talking to Jadeveon Clowney today on the defensive side, but that would be added to a top 10 defense in points, and I think top 2 in yards defense that Saleh has had over there. So it's like, wait a minute. All this hype around the Jets is going to happen because they're in the big city and Aaron Rodgers is their quarterback. But it's almost like it should be, especially with the addition of him. If you bring in Clowney, that's just an added weapon to a defense that's already stacked. How do you feel about it, and what do you think Aaron Rodgers is able to do with this team?
If Aaron Rodgers is healthy, this is a hard team to beat. The question is, if something happened to Aaron Rodgers, who they going to put in?
Well, Zach Wilson's still there.
Yep.
Tyrod Taylor.
They signed Tyrod Taylor.
All right. Let's just pray that nothing happened.
Hey, whoa! Come on,
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, but it is backup quarterback. That is what is expectation of backup quarterback. How far are you going to go? Why is Aaron good, though? You were a corner in the NFL for 14 years. Now, I don't want you to have to sit here and be like, well, what he does versus other people, but why is Aaron such highly respected by every human that's ever played against him?
It's because the play action and the flick of the wrist. He can throw the ball from the opposite side of the hash all the way to the opposite numbers on the other side. Everybody can't do that.
And he can do it and put it in a place where it doesn't matter how you're covered.
Yeah.
He ruins your morale, your confidence.
You can be in good coverage, but the ball's going to be there, and it's going to be on time 9 times out of 10. So it's a 50-50.
Now, as he gets older, the only worry would be that his arm is not as strong? Is that would be a thing that would...
I don't think so, because he didn't play time he got in the league. So he had a little time, even though he's 40 years old. I really think he's still got a lot more football in there.
But that would be the worry, though, right? The worry would be that his arm isn't as strong, so he wouldn't be able to just 60-yard, 50-yard ball over guys. Remember, he puts he puts balls over defenders' shoulders.
Yep.
He's like the greatest ball thrower football thrower of all time.
If you lose a little touch, but he's still gonna be better than 90% of everybody else. Like he's at the top of the level when it comes throwing the ball. You haven't seen too many quarterbacks that can throw the ball like Aaron Rodgers can throw the ball.
So that is why the hype is what it is. And I think Jets fans who've been through it for a year now, another year, with all this.
All the other stuff.
Expectations.
So much other stuff.
Minga, you know what I mean? What is all this? Our team sucked again. We didn't get any other quarterbacks. We're running it back with Hackett. We're running it back with this offense coordinator. We're running it back with this entire team. Why are we doing this? I think what we're all trying to say, that's a guy that was in the NFL for 14 years, watched a lot of quarterbacks. I think any other person you say, it's like, hey, if he's playing, it'll be worth it. First couple weeks might be crop.
Yeah, sure.
Might be because he's trying to figure it out too. He's trying to figure out every single person on his team. But then if that offense is able to find a rhythm, Jets fans will be like, oh, this is something we've never had before. A crop play that might have been run by Zach Wilson or any of the other quarterbacks of the past, at least he's checking out of. So you're not just like having the disaster play after disaster play after disaster play. He's potentially putting you in a spot to not hurt yourself. He won't give the ball to the other team. I mean, he's not going to put up a 500-yard game. Like, that's not going to happen. MetLife Stadium, you're not expecting that to take place anyway, especially whenever the weather changes. Now with Mike and Garrett, maybe. But he is not scared to do this one right here and not bitch about it at all. He's one of the only superstar quarterbacks where if he's not getting 100 shots up, he does not care. Like, that's what he wants to do. He'll check to a run 100% of the time if it's the right play. Like, he's not checking out of this thing. So I think Jets fans who have experienced all the Aaron Rodgers life pretty much, everything he does is going to be, and he knows that at this stage. There's nothing he can do about it. And he's embraced it, I think, fully, that this is how my life is. But it's like Jets fans seemingly going to be worth it. And I like that they're making more moves. A lot of teams wanted Mike. Jets are able to get him somehow. Now, division's getting better. Division is potentially up for the grabs.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a fascinating time to be a Jets fan, I would assume.
Yeah, I mean, it goes for every team in terms of like, hey, or at least like the really good teams, like the really only thing that could kind of derail their whole season is injuries. But I feel like more so than a lot of other teams, that's absolutely the case with the Jets, especially with some of these big free agent signings they've had. Like, you're obviously going to worry about Mike Williams' health. You're going to worry about Tyron Smith's health. You don't know about Rodgers just because he's never had an injury like this. Like, he's missed time in the past with collarbone and stuff like that, but you never know how his Achilles is going to react, with him being a little bit older now. So if they stay healthy, especially just look on paper, and, we've talked to GMs and they say, like, that's bullshit. Like, that shouldn't even be a phrase uttered in the NFL because it doesn't matter once you actually play the games. But, like, on paper, you look at their offense, you look at their defense, even their special teams, like, they should be one of the better teams in the AFC.
Congrats, Jets fans. We're back.
Yeah.
Well,
it's only a matter of time before we got the American flag on September 11th.
Don't do that. Don't do that. For sure, don't do that. I mean, that's the last thing you want Rodgers
I'm not
to be
even
doing.
going to say what I was thinking here.
Well, I mean, also September 11th, I do believe, is the Thursday night football game. So maybe they are on that game, and it would be Kirk Herbstreit and Al Michaels first because the first one's on NBC. But as Jets fans, every Jets fan knows, hey, something's going to happen, and it's going to stink.
That is what Jets fans are thinking.
Yes, and as a Patriots fan, I want that to happen, obviously, because I don't want them to do well. But when
you want the Kraft family to do well?
I'm going to plead the fifth on that one. But with that being said,
hey, there's some real shit going on in New England right now.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if the Kraft family, in any of their projections of this Dynasty docuseries, had any clue that it would potentially turn. You're speaking for
I'm
your
not,
friend group.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. Like, a majority in, like, sure, like the people I talk to, my friends, the people I know, my family, all that. There's that aspect of it for sure, but also just what you see on X and Instagram and everything. Like, it's not just the people I know. It is a majority of Patriots fans.
And we all know X is a fantastic focus group, which is how people should treat it.
Yeah.
Okay? If there's an overwhelmingly one side of something being said on X, there's probably a chance that that is the feeling of a majority of people. If it's spattered, you can't be changing your entire business plan because of what Boner Garage 47 is saying.
Exactly.
But if everybody's saying one thing, it's not a bad focus group read. Does feel, not only focus group on X, Rodney Harrison and McCourty were on a podcast. I don't know if it's a Pro Football Talk podcast or what it was. It was tweeted out by Florio. And they're just like, this is crop.
Yeah, bullshit.
Absolute crop. And all eyes and fingers are pointing at one family for this docuseries because weren't they wasn't Jonathan Kraft kind of like celebrating that he was the one behind the docuseries?
Oh, yeah. He took a victory.
Hey, this is me.
Which was smart.
I'm doing this.
Smart to do before.
Not only do I run a team, I'm an executive producer.
Yeah, bingo.
You're welcome.
Good credit.
Yeah. I mean, there's that aspect of it.
And then now the fact that he did that, everybody's like, oh, so you're
So we can. It's
so
easy.
you're the one.
It's easy to point the finger. Yeah, exactly. And like that is the biggest problem. And I even feel bad for guys that were clearly Brady people when the whole split between Brady and Belichick happened. Like Amendola is getting buried because he was clearly on Team Brady and in the documentary.
Yeah, he's one of Brady's like best friends.
Exactly. Yeah, but like I feel bad for him because I'm sure he did say good things about Bill, and obviously, hey, we're not going to include that. Gronk had to come out and talk about how because he was also skewed in the Brady camp. Obviously, he goes down to Tampa. Yeah, only playing with Tom, all that stuff. But Gronk even came out, and this I think was yesterday or on Monday, and he was like, "Hey, I just need to set the record straight. Like without Bill Belichick, I am not who I am. Like I needed the structure that was there in New England. I needed him to be on my ass, or else I wouldn't be the player that I was. Yeah, a Hall of Famer, one of the greatest tight ends of all time.
Yeah." So what we're saying is to kind of wrap this whole thing up, Jets fans, now's the time.
Yes, it is. Now is the time.
Now is the time. You got Patriots fans that are kind of like, this is what we got to cheer for. Think about Mayo. Mayo's the new head coach.
Bingo.
Who are you the head coach of? The Patriots.
Awesome.
Well, that's Bill Belichick. Well, actually, I follow Bill Belichick. Oh, sweet. They got a great fan base there that's built up over well, actually, they all hate us.
They hate the owner now.
Because the owner.
Yeah.
So
there's that.
So let's go, Jets. Hey, Jets, good luck out there.
Yep, good luck.
Buffalo Bills still exist.
Yep.
But again, they
Fins.
lost a lot of
Dolphins still
pieces.
good.
The Finns lost a lot of pieces. The Jets are the only team that kind of kept all their cornerstone players and now have added a couple.
All right, let's go back to March Madness, shall we? Because that is the story of the week. We will be in Iowa this Friday to celebrate the Women's March Madness tournament, and the Iowa Hawkeyes having a 1 seed and a home game, and Caitlin Clark's last run at a potential national championship. It is an honor that we'll be a part of that. A man who will be a massive piece of the men's March Madness, guy who hosts College Game Day all year round for football and for basketball. Friend of the program, man who led us astray and didn't tell us shit about Keisei Tominaga. Ladies and gentlemen, Reese Davis. Hope you're happy, Reese.
Whoa.
I really come on here humbled and offering my deepest apologies because when I saw your clip about Keisei Tominaga, I was like, this is my fault. I've let you down, and I just want to offer my sincere apology.
Well, Reese, we would like to let you know you're the first person that we have blamed for not knowing who this is, who has openly come out and said, I'm the one. Because we blame Ty because he's a Big Ten fan, watches Big Ten basketball. How do you not tell us, oh, your Iowa bias is just so strong. You can't tell us about the Japanese Steph Curry. Then we go to Gumpy. Gumpy gambles on basically every college basketball game that exists.
Yep.
And he goes, I should have told you guys that we had a weapon. But I think Gumpy's been profiting potentially off of Keisei Tominaga and didn't want us to know about it. But all roads led back to, I did ask you, is there anything... After you mentioned it, is there anything that I should know going in this tournament? And you said a bunch of good stuff, bunch of great stuff. Helped us fill out our bracket, which is going to be the first one that's perfect in the history.
Yeah. That's right.
You did great. But there was not a mention of, after knowing me, that is who, headband, super positive. Dad's 6'11", former professional basketball player, silky, step backs. He's been shooting over a 7-footer his whole life. So his step back game is going to be insane. I read a story that around his house growing up, his mom and dad put in little mini basketball hoops in every single room. So you'll see some of these layups that he's doing. They're very reminiscent of the highlights that you see of people in their living room doing layups with the mini ball. That is literally what he looks like whenever he's in the paint. This dude, do they have a chance? Do they have a single chance? They're right there. That's a mini ball hoop. That is a move. That is literally a mini ball with a mini ball hoop move. And do they have a chance here? He just has to get ridiculously hot? Are they one of the teams that can do that, or do they not have enough firepower? That's probably why I didn't know about Keisei Tominaga to begin with.
No, I think they've got a chance, particularly in their first game, because they're playing a team that's physical, rugged, tough in Texas A&M, but they don't shoot it very well. So, if Keisei and, Rink Mast and Bryce Williams, this is a team they have a lot of guys that can make threes. They get hot from the outside. A&M played very well in the SEC tournament, but over the course of the season, they don't shoot it well from anywhere. What they do is they grab misses at a highly effective rate. But no, I think they definitely definitely have a chance against Texas A&M, and that will be fun to keep him going.
All right, last question from me before the boys have some, and I know we got 2 more playing games this evening. We watched Virginia last night just not be able to play basketball. Ugh. Like, just not. I mean, it was bad. It was bad. I saw that the one shirt was awesome. Virginia basketball is Iowa football. And Ty was like disgusted by that. Virginia won a national championship a couple of years ago. Iowa's nowhere close. It's like, I think what he's saying is there's no offense. We have no idea how to do the sport that we are playing in a offensive fashion. Is there any more of those? Like tonight, should we be looking out for a team that absolutely stinks that snuck their way in? And how did Indiana State get left out, but Virginia has a chance to do what they did last night? Is that an okay comparison for casual outside looking in?
There are a few other offensively challenged teams for sure in the tournament, maybe not to the degree that Virginia has been. And I want to be consistent because I always say that, selection is not indicative of performance, or one doesn't validate or invalidate the other. But I think a lot of people felt like that despite the fact that Virginia had a little bit going on its resume, that if you watch them play, they didn't look like a tournament team this year. They had multiple games where they got blown out, multiple games where they didn't get to 50 points. Now, to their credit, they found ways to win games, and they finished 3rd in the ACC, if memory serves. But I didn't think they were a tournament team, and they sort of didn't look like one last night.
All right, well, we appreciate you speaking the truth because Kareem Abdul-Jabbar will be in here on Thursday.
Yeah. What?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah.
Full uni.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
We want him to showcase what everybody missed because I don't know how many people saw as many Indiana State Sycamore games as they should have. Sure. But what you saw Virginia do last night, wait until you see Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Larry Nerd do his thing in here. Okay? He's going to go bananas from the elbow.
Oh, yeah.
We're even going to set up some place for him to do no-look passes.
Boom. Like that.
Yeah. We're trying to get unis before then, too, so we can be all in our baby blues.
Have to.
But I was excited March Madness got started last night. I'm like, all right, playing games, something to watch here. Where the hell is True TV?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, let me find True TV. All right, let me do this. All right, I'm on there. Is this True TV West or East? Who cares? I guess they're both playing. And there's going to be a lot of that. And then literally all I could think of for that second game was just like, how's this team in the tournament?
Yeah. Ridiculous.
I just heard a bunch of teams bitch. It's going to be a good tournament, right? We got a good tournament?
It will be. We've had the entire season of massive upsets and so forth. It's going to be fun. There'll be a lot of. There will be better ball than last night.
Okay, that's great news. Conman's got a question for you about that.
Yeah, Reese, obviously you just came on and we asked questions, but who knows if you were even telling us the truth, so I'm just going to run it back with another one. Aside from Tamanaga, who is clearly the superstar of March going forward, if Nebraska can get it done, is there like a Jimmer Fredette-esque shooter in this March that we're going to see from some random school a la BYU where there's just one guy pulling up from all over the place, or is there not really that kind of superstar player in this March Madness?
No, I think there are a couple of guys that come to mind. One, I'm sure Ty knows very well from Illinois, Terrence Shannon.
Very good.
Who put 36 on in the championship game, I believe, for Illinois, and had 40 maybe against Tamanaga and Nebraska. I don't think I have that juxtaposed, but 76 in 2 games. And then most people know about Dalton Connect from Tennessee, who's had some 40-point games and is kind of a shooter without a conscience, can also drive. So I think those are a couple of guys who jump off the page to me. They are on highly seeded teams, but those are the first 2 that come to mind. Of guys who could load up a team on their back like Kemba Walker did several years ago.
Or Joe Alexander from West Virginia a couple decades back.
Yep.
You know how he got. Hey, he got himself in the lottery during March Madness. And I was at the same time friends with Joe. So like watching that'll take place, I'm like, okay, this is what March Madness is.
Yeah.
But it's not always like that. I guess it's not every single year somebody just propels themselves. This Keisei Tamanaga.
Look out.
He's the one. He's the one. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Reese, you mentioned how the field's kind of more wide open this year. Obviously, with UMBC and then last year FDU, we've seen, a couple 1 seeds go down. In your opinion, which 1 or 2 seed do you think is most susceptible to upset in the first round?
I mean, I know this is not the answer you want to hear. I'm going to say none of them in the first round.
That's a good answer.
There's no reason for for those games to happen. UMBC and Fairleigh Dickinson, if you just can't see those coming. But, sports, sometimes people, Bob Knight always used to say dumb loses more than smart wins. So you can never underestimate, people getting tight, people panicking a little, and then blowing a game they have no reason to lose. Probably the one seed that, even though they're toughest, I think vulnerable earliest, would be Houston, because they don't have a lot of different options offensively, and we saw that play out in the Iowa State game on Saturday.
Who's coach there?
Kelvin Sampson.
Kelvin Sampson.
Oh, yeah, Sam.
Yeah.
He's been around a long
And
time.
I mean, look, they're really good, and they play harder than just about anybody. They're a great defensive team, offensive rebounding team, but they only have a couple of shooters. And if a guy goes cold, they can have trouble scoring.
That's Beeline's West Virginia team there.
Yeah.
We used to huck up threes, and then you run into a small rim one night. It's over.
Yeah.
It is over. Pac-Man's got a question for you, Reese.
Hey, Reese, I got the show Undercover Dog. Which team would you pick and say that's the undercover dog for the bracket?
I think I mentioned this the other day. I've got New Mexico going to the Elite Eight. I like them. And a couple of teams I think people have given up on a little bit, big name teams, but they've seen some flaws. Duke and Kentucky. Kentucky's as good an offensive team as there is in the tournament, but they often choose defense to be optional and don't even get in the way sometimes on straight line drives. But man, can they score. And I think Duke hasn't played to his capabilities the last couple of games, and they might want to rectify that, and they're certainly capable if they play. Those are a couple teams, 3-4 seed line that I think could make the final.
Pac-Man Jones cannot be putting Filipowski on undercover.
No, he can't.
No, he can't. He is not.
With everything that happened.
Nope.
Yeah, he's not an undercover dog.
That cannot.
No.
I mean, that windmill dunk was pretty sick.
That was sick.
It was.
That was pretty sick, though.
Kind of ruined, though.
A little bit of a dog, but the week before it was like.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I was
Jay
glad
Billis
he
wants
was
to
okay
arrest
so quickly.
Could
I
put
think
the
we were
fan
all
on
glad he was
undercover,
okay so quickly, weren't we?
Guys got Wolverine blood.
Yeah, he does.
Just like Russell Wilson.
That's right.
I mean, it's a fantastic thing. Let's pivot away from basketball now that we have you, because massive news dropped yesterday. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, Reese, I know it's basketball season and tournament time, so I'm not sure if you heard this or not, but this program broke some pretty massive news yesterday when you're talking about the King of Kings, and that's football. And the news yesterday was that I believe ESPN paid $7.8 billion or something around that number for all college football playoff games, I think till 2031, 2032. How do you feel about it? That's huge, obviously, for game day, for this show, for all ESPN shows. What's your thoughts on it?
Absolutely thrilled.
Yeah. Me too, Reese. Me too.
Football drives the boat. It's fantastic, man. It's going to be so much fun. And to be able to extend that to having playoff games on campus, and then for us to have all of them, I'm thrilled to death about it. Really excited about that.
Well, that's what
I
said yesterday whenever we were talking about it as it was kind of unfolding. Like, I don't think people understand enough that the humans that work in the college football world, and now we got dropped right in there a couple years ago. I said this as it was happening. But like behind the scenes, there's people that literally their blood is college football.
Yes.
Like that, been doing it for like 30 years. Like I think ESPN, I went to a seminar a couple years back about the amount of pride that ESPN has, that it's associated with college football. And like, here's these schools, here's traditions, here's what happens, here's why you need to appreciate this, here's some of this. It's like, I don't think people fully understand that because, in our hot take world that we're in, in conversational, in judgment world that we're in, I saw a lot of people's reaction to our announcement of this thing being like, oh, great, Florida State's never getting him because Kirk Herbstreit doesn't like Florida State. Oh, great, ESPN's going to be picking. It's like, ESPN doesn't make the rules of the sport. ESPN is not the ones that are in the room making the decisions, just like at the NFL. But ESPN now does have, a lot of, connections with college football, even more so as we get into that. There's some people that don't love that. Is that just how it's always been? Or what do you think, Reese? You've been around longer than me.
I think that part of it has changed a little bit over the years, Pat. I think you're right on it about that. It used to be that, people didn't associate the conferences and who got into bowl games and so forth necessarily with the television networks, or they didn't blame us or Fox for teams moving from one conference to the other. And, I think there's a misconception that all of it's being orchestrated by someone behind a curtain. It's just not the way it is. I think.
Yeah, but that's how you would say if it was being. That's what, there's a never ending.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Precisely. But I do think now the one thing that people ought to understand is with the exception of the Big Ten, ESPN had contracts with the ACC all the way through. We want the best teams to get there, so we have the best games, so we have the best product. And beyond that, the conferences, the schools have to work all of this out for themselves. We're in the television business. We want the best inventory to put on TV. And we're fortunate that it worked out that we're going to continue with the college football playoff.
College football is amazing because of the amount of passion that their fans have. That's been the coolest part of it all. Now, I've been on the receiving end of it.
Sure.
And I've thrown myself into the, you know what? Yeah, I am going to say this. And without even knowing, just walk right into a pool of yep, this guy's the biggest dipshit that's ever had a microphone by an entire alumni group, But that's what makes college football so beautiful. And I think what isn't talked about enough is how behind the scenes, all the people that run all the college game day folks, the college football live stuff, the college football games, those people are obsessed with the sport of college football, obsessed with the pageantry, the passion and everything. So I'm certainly pumped that it's staying at ESPN, especially with the relationship we have with you. This certainly benefits us.
Incredible.
Absolutely.
In a beautiful way. So we're excited about it as well. And I think, Reese, you're the right man to be hosting the biggest institution show for college football that has just been mightily invested in by Disney and ESPN. But let's talk about a new edition that's coming. I got a chance to see some of the clips of you on Dan Patrick yesterday. And Dan Patrick, obviously OG, he asked you a question. You two guys, similar hosts in the role of what you got to do, how you got to handle things, with Nick Saban joining the party. Now, this is fascinating. I don't think you and I have got to talk about this much because you've been in the middle of basketball season. We've been doing what we're doing. There was an awesome celebratory, hey, Nick Saban's part of Game Day. That's great news that the greatest coach of all time is now a part of a show that's hopefully going to be able to continue to cover college football as it transitions here. And we're going to be able to hear, there's a lot of things Nick Saban's going to say where me and a lot of people are going to be like, okay, that's my opinion now.
Yeah.
That is my opinion now because Nick Saban's there. And he was talking about how are you going to host with Nick Saban and talking about how it's not just like a Q&A with Nick Saban. He's now the host in that. Have you talked to Coach Saban at all about being a TV host now and what he's signing up for and what it looks like? Has there been any of that between you two, as I know you're an Alabama man and pretty close to him and his family?
We've talked a little bit broadly. I told him, I saw him when we were down for College Game Day basketball at Alabama a few weeks ago that, I hope to get together with him this summer and maybe actually learn mostly from him about watching tape. And, maybe we'll watch some shows together. But I think, what Dan brought up yesterday is really important that we can ask him questions, obviously, but that he becomes part of the conversation. I think he's pretty good at that. And I really think that the relationship that you have with him and the back and forth that you've had on the show is going to help facilitate that a lot. And, if he disagrees with us or if you guys disagree with him, how I've always phrased it is this way. If I'm arguing with you about, a kicker's plant foot, or the way a punt was covered. Yeah. I'm outside of my lane, and I shouldn't do that. But you and I can argue all day long about whether a team should have gone for it on fourth down, whether they should have passed, whether this quarterback should be playing instead of that one. That type of thing I think is fair game. There will be things that Nick has that might be outside of our purview that maybe we do acquiesce a little bit. But then there are things when you can say, you know what? Look, I'm Pat McAfee All-Pro. I don't think you're right about this, and that's a perfectly valid way to look at it. And he can do the same to us.
Hey, Nick, I've been nominated Hall of Fame twice.
How about that?
Okay. Only
there you
played 8 years. Only played 8 years. So you tell me, do they feel obligated to nominate me every year? Probably. But that's neither here nor there, Nick, okay? The amount of times I'm going to say, what do you know, to Nick Saban? I cannot wait. That's going to be there's going to be a 7 a.m., before the show starts, in that little production meeting, there's going to be some bickering about something going on back and forth, and I'm just going to listen to Nick say something. What do you know, old man? And just walk by and just be like, yes. How many times am I going to say, Nick Saban, this guy? This guy. I can't wait. It should be a blast, especially with the investment that ESPN is obviously proving they'll continue to have in college football. $7.8 billion, Reese, they put into that deal.
I believe that was the number.
But it was us that got everybody fired. Never forget it. Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of College Game Day, both football and basketball, absolute legend, friend of the program, family of the program, ladies and gentlemen, and host of the college football wrap-up.
That's right.
Reese Davis. Thank you. We appreciate you, Reese. He's the man.
Oh, yeah.
The best.
That whole Saban thing is interesting.
It's going to be awesome.
I haven't signed a deal yet, but let's just assume it happened.
Sure.
There's semantics.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on. We got to get the rights to the college football playoffs.
Exactly.
That all happened. And Kirk Herbstreit, you remember on the show, was like,
He said
yeah, if you don't do it, I'm not doing it. How about that?
Right.
And then Florida State fans were like, all right, both of them.
Yeah. Perfect.
And then other people threw in there. But so whatever. That's gonna end up happening. That is not even a conversation point, but they're still like reaching out and like saying, hey, what are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on this? This did not happen last offseason like as much. I feel really cool now that there's like, I know the people a lot more after a season together. So they're asking me questions that I hadn't even thought of. Like, where's Nick gonna sit?
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
Great question.
What's gonna happen? What are your thoughts and opinions? He was like, I'm not the one that needs to be giving any opinions on this. They're like, well, in your head, whenever you, and I'm like, nope.
Again?
I'm wherever. You put me, I am not the one that's going to be deciding that. So there's people that they're thinking about all that. That's the layers to it.
That's absurd.
It's
March.
Yeah.
They're talking about that stuff, and it's end of August when it starts.
Like legitimately, and I think, whenever people get all mad about the college football playoff process, and obviously Florida State this year, there's going to be a team next year that's pissed, at least probably two of them that are going to be pissed. That's just kind of the layup, the setup of the whole thing. It's like, I don't think the people that are tweeting about, Kirk Herbstreit deciding Kirk Herbstreit would die if it wasn't college football.
Oh, yeah.
That is actually, Lee Corso, same exact thing. The people that are running the show behind the scenes, like every day of their life, they wake up and it's like, oh, did you see that backup guard, a 3-star out of Florida, did this now? He's thinking about going here. It's like, I did not. Do we get emails of this whole thing? No, you got to go on the blog. Like they look into the blog, like the chat room, like the whole,
Like the
they
Reddits.
are obsessed. The people that run college football at ESPN. Now, granted, there's people that are just hired to work. Like, hey, this person's doing this person's doing this. But the obsession with college football from ESPN is very high. So I assume there's a lot of very happy people at ESPN that they're investing $7.8 billion into the future. That's huge news.
It's huge news, and we talked about it yesterday. Like, it's ginormous for ratings and just for the network in general. And it's going to keep growing. So, like, does that factor into the money that they had to pay, that it's going to go from 12 to 14 to 16 for sure? Or is there a clause in there, hey, if we go to 24 teams, there's going to be this many games, you're going to have to pay more money? But no, overall, it's awesome. And we talk a lot about the off-the-field stuff. College football is still the same on the field. Like, it's still awesome on the field, whether you hate the NIL and kids transfer and stuff like that. It's still the same product on the field, which is awesome. And you're going to get all these games on ESPN. And
yeah, because last night, as I was trying to find True TV.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know True TV has those great shows in the past. Like, I think there's that Toe one. They had that Toe company.
Oh, yeah.
Live PD was on there.
Impractical Jokers.
Crank Yankers.
Crank Yankers.
Talk about lizard lick toeing.
There it is. I was going to say lot
What
lizard towing,
is it called? Lizard licking toes?
I'll tell you what.
What is that?
Lizard lick towing.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Makes more sense.
Yeah.
It was a toe. I mean, the way I describe it was that toe show. They used to get into it when they had.
Oh,
I believe
it's already on the bed. Sorry. Already on the bed. Not coming down.
I've had my shit towed a few times in Morgantown.
the worst.
that sounds like a nightmare.
It's the worst.
The Vespa, the moped?
Well, the Vespa just got a bunch of tickets because I was parking them on like the building sidewalk. So it's hard to get a tow truck up into there. But so they were just. I'm still not able to get my transcript.
Oh yeah,
because of how much that Vespa. It was not a Vespa.
I know. Sorry,
It was
that's
a
right.
Wasp. Please have a little respect.
What do you mean wasp?
That was the name of it, I think, or Bumblebee.
It was a scooter.
It was a scooter. Yeah.
Scooter brand name, the Wasp.
Remote start.
So like police were probably like, we got the Oh boy, I almost just said it. We got the wasp on the sidewalk here. Someone get a ticket.
I mean,
out
they knew.
immediately.
I had Thor, one of our D linemen, ride on the back of this thing in Morgantown up this. He's 280 pounds, round ball. We're sitting in the back of trying to get to like a pool party. And people knew.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the asshole's scooter again. But I didn't go to class that often when I had it. But every time I did, I would get it. But like your car, because there's no parking anywhere.
No parking.
You get your ass towed by Sunnyside Towing.
Yeah.
And then they would give you a T-shirt after you go get your car.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like
Stick it to you. one last
gotcha.
time. Yep.
yeah, you had to drive like 25 minutes though to get to the tow yard.
Yep.
Then you got to go through the whole process, prove it's your car, and then it's like a full day. You get
yeah.
your car towed, you owe money,
Yeah.
and it's going to eat up 3 hours.
Get a shirt.
But Lizard Lick Towing, the way they went about their business, top of the line.
Okay.
Did you see the crew?
I saw the crew. Yeah, I've never heard of the show. I think this was before my time. But
I think it's still alive.
really,
Yeah, I think you're still doing it. Yeah.
is that? I
All
mean,
new
that guy.
season, June 11th.
Yeah, but we don't know when that photo could be from 2021.
It could
Who's
be.
that?
Yeah,
on
I'm
the-
surprised Bobby on the right there hasn't got shot yet. He's been in some altercations.
I mean, I'm surprised the guy
People
on the
don't
left
love when
hasn't
your
shot
car
him.
gets
Well, the guy on the left's got good marks.
That's
Yeah,
Ronnie. Come on.
Yeah, I could imagine. I mean, I want him playing for the New England
You can see the
Patriots
bullet holes.
next
Well, God called him to do something else.
toe.
Jacking up trucks.
Respect.
Yeah. Oh, you're not going to pay your bills? Okay. You're not going to pay your tickets?
Is that right?
Oh, okay. This car's coming with me.
Yeah.
I paid all my tickets. Well, sorry, logistical issue then.
Yeah. It's not
Your
what the
day's
county
ruined.
says.
Your day's ruined. But anyways, that's True TV.
Yeah.
So trying to find it last night was a whole
What
operation.
provider are you using?
Hulu.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh,
That's
really?
That might be your issue.
That is the one nice thing about YouTube TV is it just looks at like what you've been watching lately. It's like, oh, okay, you're gonna probably want to watch True TV. You don't have to go through here and find what channel it's on. It's just boom,
Really? YouTube
right,
TV's doing that? I
right
thought
on
they
the
were.
top row there.
I was doing YouTube TV for the NFL.
Sure,
Yes. Also,
They do the quad box for the tournament. as
they
well.
do, which
Yeah.
is huge.
YouTube
Wow.
TV is the one now. Hulu had its run, and believe me, I was a
It is
Hulu
the
guy. I had to kick it to the curb because YouTube TV is
But-
exponentially.
But if you
better.
get ESPN Plus, I think you get Hulu and Disney with it. So
not Hulu live channels.
okay.
Tone, as you were burying Hulu, I was realizing quickly that we are on a certain company's network.
Sure. Oh, the Hulu app and shows are unbelievable. What it
No,
comes
no. Listen, we are in the streaming era. Hulu had an opportunity to get the NFL Sunday ticket.
They did.
They did.
They did.
They did. YouTube TV got it, and YouTube TV is like I fell in love with. Now they're saying you can mix match games in the $4.
Yeah,
Pick
that's
It's
your
what it is.
about time.
This upcoming season. Yeah, YouTube TV has figured it out. And I was one of the biggest, like, hey, I like having cable. Like, I enjoy the cable
Channels.
box still. Exactly. I like channel surfing. I switched to YouTube TV. I was like, what the hell am I doing? This is 1,000 times better than cable. I will never go back.
No chance.
It's
Is
unbelievable.
that the greatest YouTube TV commercial of all time?
It might be. It might be. Because
I'm a man who's miserable and watches a lot of TV.
Loves channel surfing.
Loves it.
This guy.
That's the Thursday night Amazon game problem I have.
Right.
They go to commercial, I can't go anywhere.
No.
It's a nightmare.
You know, you're kind of stuck there.
Yeah.
They need to be charging more money for those commercials
You're telling me.
because you're forced to watch them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And everybody
I'm sure
does.
they are.
I'm quite
Amazon.
sure that, they're probably charging a lot for those commercials.
Yeah, the people running the sports Amazon, big brains.
Yeah.
Well, who knows about that?
What was that?
What the,
What did you say?
the hell's going on over here?
Let's go to some more news. Saquon Barkley just took a massive dump on the New York Football Giants.
Yep.
I did not expect this as quickly as it. I'm joking. It wasn't that big of a dump. It was a nice story from a behind-the-scenes blog or vlog about Saquon Barkley's first 24 hours as a Philadelphia Eagle. Tells a story about him and his daughter after the Giants lose to the Eagles.
A lot of history in my career with the Eagles. I remember one time when I was with the Giants and we lost to Philly in the playoffs. We went to diner to get some breakfast and there was a bird and she was like, "Daddy, oh no, oh no." And I'm like, "What is it?" She points to the bird and she was like, "It's the Eagles, it's the Eagles." And me and Anna, we just started laughing and I just put my head down and just kind of start shaking. So when I told her that we're going to be going to Philly, she kind of was just like, "Does that mean we're going to win now?" And I just started smiling again. And I was like,
Jeez.
Oh, no.
hopefully we can win some more games.
Hopefully we'll win some more. Hopefully we'll have a little bit more happy nights with Dad.
Yeah.
Okay, during the football season. Bruce Brown in the back, massive Giants fan. Obviously, he feels the same exact amount of pain that Saquon's daughter feels every single Sunday with this Giants team seemingly over the last 10 years.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you
And
know,
Saquon hates you guys now because Tiki said, go ahead and get your shit packed and get out of here.
Yep. Tiki hasn't spoken for Giants fans since he talked shit about Eli Manning's leadership right after he retired before the Giants won their 2 Super Bowls. You know, Tiki's just kind of doing the New York sports media thing. But I've kind of run through the gauntlet of emotions with Saquon. Now just happy for him and, you know, hoping that he does win some more games.
Hey, that's very nice.
Wow.
Wow.
Sportsmanship.
Very nice. That was some good
Great
sportsmanship.
sportsmanship.
This free agency period, a lot of players go into like division rivals.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Patrick Queen. This is a big one because how Giants fans feel about Eagles
Aaron
fans.
Jones.
Poyer, Aaron Jones, all this. You almost signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? After you were with the Bengals?
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Yeah, never right.
Yeah, right.
It's very different now.
Yeah, it's very different now. I'd turn over in my grave before I would have signed with the Steelers. Like, that's just me personally because I was with the Bengals for 10 years and I was pretty much 3 years was going to be my last deal. So there's no way I would have went to Pittsburgh, even if they would have offered me more money, just because of the clash.
Now, a lot of people would
got.
say business-wise, that's not the best decision, but you would say that's like, it is.
It was different then.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Because now with all the dap up afterwards, the jersey swaps that are just like norm.
Yeah.
Equipment managers are ordering more jerseys for everybody so that they can do the jersey swaps afterwards. So people have to do the full like, good to see you, good to see you, good to see you. It was never like that.
No, when we was playing, I used to tell my home, hey, look, I'm gonna speak to you before the game, but I ain't hipping nobody up. Like once this thing get going, you on your own, bro.
There's still some people that are like that, I
Yeah.
assume. But like Patrick Queen going to the Steelers from the Ravens, because Patrick Queen was a tone setter for the Baltimore Ravens. Hell of a player. And somebody brought to my attention that we said bus in the first round for quarterbacks. They're not getting a second contract with the same team. It's like Patrick Queen didn't either, I guess. He got a deal for somebody else. I don't think anybody's calling him a bust.
Well,
You know, I think there's situations or situations
Yeah,
in this entire
position.
thing whenever you sign it somewhere else. But like Patrick Queen being a Steeler and now being like, yeah, I hate the Ravens. You guys love that, I would assume in Pittsburgh.
Absolutely love it. And yeah, he talked about being the villain and how much he loved it, or how much he wanted to do that. And then he also put out a tweet like, hey, like fans, it's not like that. Like on game day, yeah, sure, but other than that, like we don't care a lot of the time, which you know is how it is now, and there's nothing. All I care is that when the ball kicks off till the end of the game is that no friends. Before the game,
please.
Yes.
Before the game,
Football is a physical violence.
before the game, after the game.
Yes.
I don't care. I don't care about the jersey swaps. I don't care if you're dapping up before the game, but as soon as you go, go. Okay?
What about making TikToks before the game?
What about making
I'm cool
TikToks
with the
during the
TikTok.
game?
Thank you. Thank
Whenever
you, Pat.
you're lined up at wide receiver and you're actually dancing
You took
before
the
the
words
ball
out
is
of
Because
my
the
snapped.
other team's yelling at you.
Yeah, that's different, okay? Because you're not focused on the game. Okay, at least if you're talking to your friend, your opponent before the game, you're trying to get in his head, okay? You're trying to get information out of him.
Pac-Man
low.
used to talk to all of them.
Bingo.
what?
Pac-Man.
That Mitch Moore story
Yeah, yeah.
that he told us about.
Pac-Man came out and talked shit to 10 offensive linemen by
Solo.
himself.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, man, I hope one day I have the confidence to be able to be Pac-Man Jones. He told you remember Mitch Morse, right?
Yeah, Mitch Morse, yeah.
Yeah, he's now with
Incredible. He is
Who did he sign with?
with the Jaguars?
Dolphins,
Yes.
maybe?
I think believe it was the Jags.
I thought it was the Jags.
Yeah, and what Mitch Morse didn't know is that what Pac was doing?
Stand on business.
Yeah.
SOB.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's all
All
it
that
was.
hepping up. I don't like all hepping up the opposite team after you make a tackle. Or
That's sportsmanship.
I hate it.
That's
like,
sportsmanship.
Bro, be cool with them after the game,
You'd
bro.
never
Like,
win the sportsmanship award.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Because once the whistle blow, we are not friends. Period.
like
Point
that.
blank.
Agreed, Pac.
Hey, whatever you got to do to get yourself into a mind frame to play football, you do what you got to do.
That's right.
But it does feel like now there's a lot more like division rivals. Like, oh, we know a lot about that guy. He's a pretty good player. He's beat us numerous times. Let's get him on our squad. And being like, yeah, money's good. Who cares? I'm indifferent about it, but I do love the storylines of like Giants fans having to watch Saquon. All right, we'll be back. Hour 2 on the other side of this break. We'll be joined by maybe a rule change. Ooh. See you then.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you smell what the rock is cooking. Yeah. Let's go. Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Let's go. Dwayne.
Why do you think now is the time to be back in wrestling as big as you are with the WWE?
I love it. And That's why I don't have to go back. I've been lucky enough to get to this point in my career. I love what I do. I love getting in there, and I love pro wrestling. It's who I am. It's what I was born to do. From the second that Roman Reigns years ago said, I'm the head of the table and I'm the head of this bloodline.
Greatest of all time.
That's when our story began. It's converging now. It's converging to WrestleMania. I understand the passion. I love Cody. I love his passionate fans. Then there's the other passionate fans of Cody, and they're called the what's that? Oh, Cody Crybabies. Yeah, that's what they're called.
Okay. I didn't know the name that was coming from.
It was the Cody Crybabies, and these are grown-ass men. And Cody gotta finish his story. He got to finish his story right now. It's like, wait a second, hold on. Hey, Dad, you want to go outside and play catch with me? Not now. Cody's gotta finish, and I'm upset. The wife comes in. Hey, honey, do you want to go have sex? Not now. Cody's gotta finish his story. At the end of the day, look, you got the Cody Crybabies, and you have the Cody fans, and you have Cody himself, and there's a clear distinction between the three. But The Rock says this, those Cody Crybabies are the ones for every 10 tweets, they're shoving a chicken McNugget in their mouth. For every 20 tweets, they're shoving 2 McNuggets up their ass. What? The Rock says this, all you gotta do is sit back, know your role, shut your mouth, and enjoy the ride that The Rock is gonna take your candy asses on. So hashtag that. Hashtag shut your bitch asses up. Hashtag Cody Crybabies. Yes, man. Okay.
The week got bigger. A decision's going to be made that's talked about for generations and generations. It's the perfect time for the perfect event in the perfect place, Cole.
At WrestleMania 40, in the main event, I choose you, Roman Reigns.
You must be stupid or something, huh? This is a done deal. You're old news. Go over there with the number 2s. The number 2 table will have you now.
If your grandfather was here, if the High Chief, his grandfather, was here, they'd be ashamed of you.
Let me make something perfectly clear to you. When you talk about his family, you're talking about my family. So now we have a problem.
Have a family again. I still don't know what the hell happened.
Well, you better figure it out because we got to talk about it on Monday Night Raw in a couple of nights.
I do have to ask, what are we supposed to do with the nuggets? Pat, you were there. What am I expected to do with these nuggets?
I think you're
oh my gosh.
shoving them up your ass.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Sport! Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Big News Wednesday, March 20th, 2024. Hour 2 of this program starts now. Sports are fantastic, and we're lucky to cover them every single day. The Toxic Table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys Tone Diggs is here. 14-year NFL corner, and now universally signed, Universal Records signed rapper, ladies and gentlemen, Pac-Man Jones. Staying on business, SOB.
Yes, sir.
Available now on all platforms.
Smell me.
The real Pac-Man Jones. And you too could be staying on business.
SOB.
Speaking of standing on business, Caden Proctor, formerly of the Alabama Crimson Tide football team, left tackle from Iowa.
Yep.
Transferred to Iowa when Kalen DeBoer was named head coach. Nick Saban was retiring. That was like 57 days ago.
He's going home. Love that.
Yeah. Well, as of last night, he's going back to Bama. I hate Iowa.
What?
What the hell happened? Last night, news broke that Caden Proctor, who's a 6'7" left tackle, probable NFL first rounder, a man who was anchoring that Alabama offensive line for the incredible run that they had all the way to the Rose Bowl. When they inevitably lost to the national champions, the Michigan Wolverines, now it has been announced that Caden Proctor will instead not go back to Iowa like it was formally announced, and Iowa even potentially got a tampering charge for recruiting him back.
Yeah.
He's going back to Alabama. Tampering charge stays with Iowa. Not 100% sure how that's going to work out. But Ty, you were supposed to have a brand new offensive lineman. Now you got nothing.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those things where, like, it's hard to really care that much because he's a young kid, you know? So, like, I see a lot of people that were, like, tweeting at his mom and saying, like, hey, you raised a piece of shit and stuff like that. It's like, if this is what's best for his future, then so be it. Like, I do think this is one of those things with the transfer portal that they need to tighten up. Like, I don't think you should be able to transfer back and then because he enrolled at Iowa and was in there for, I guess, a little bit of this semester. I don't think you should be able to just be like, okay, actually, I'm going to go back to Bama now. Like, that seems like it's kind of bullshit. But at the end of the day, like, he never actually officially played for Iowa. So, I mean, he's probably going to be a first-round pick. So would it have been nice for him to suit up at Iowa and play? Absolutely. But if he's comfortable at Alabama, he just spent a year in school there, you know, who knows what's going on in his personal life. Like, if he wants to go back to Alabama, then so be it. Like, that's his prerogative, and he should be able to do that.
Well, Iowa Hawkeyes, you know, lose out on he's going to be a superstar for that offense next year, maybe getting first downs.
Whoa, easy.
Run left,
first
maybe.
down.
I was going to say, if you do remember, after he decided to go back to Iowa, I basically said, hey, it doesn't matter who's playing quarterback, doesn't matter what's going on, because we are just going to run off his left butt cheek the entire season. That's not going to happen anymore. So Tim Lester, the illustrious offensive coordinator that we hired, he's going to have to go back in the kitchen and start cooking.
Tim Lester was known for having great offense, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, big time at Western Michigan or whatever, second-rate school he was at before he came to Iowa. He's
Western Michigan had way more first downs than Iowa.
Yeah, second rate.
They probably went like 5 and 6.
That's because they don't got Cooper DeJean.
Yeah,
at Western Michigan.
All darn right. And guess who doesn't have many more? Iowa doesn't. So we got to figure something out. But the boys will be ready to go come fall.
Maybe Caitlin Clark does opt out of going to the WNBA and chooses to play for the Iowa Hawkeyes football team.
That'd be sweet.
That'd be cool for you guys.
Oh, we need her. We need her in Indiana.
Yeah, you're right. We need her to be a fever player. Let's not even throw those ideas out there. More college news into NFL news. Caleb Williams has arrived at his pro day at USC. Yeah. It is not just Caleb Williams on that field. What? Obviously, all eyes are on the number one over-projected pick, the superstar Heisman winner out of USC, who still has yet to get a haircut or a shave, which we do appreciate and respect. A man who I think turned a lot of heads at the Combine whenever he was doing all of the incredibly superhero things, shaking everybody's hand, even in production meetings, introducing himself locally, going and seeing some local kids here in Indianapolis to say hello, kind of talk to them, motivate, inspire them. I went from being like, Caleb, there's a lot of talent in the NFL. There's a lot of superstars in the NFL. So what his camp was saying, what his team was saying, I want a percentage of a team. It's like, hey, bud, the NFL is going to go on with or without you. This is a much different situation than college football. No offense, is how a lot of people felt about Caleb Williams. Then one weekend in Indianapolis, I'm hearing from waiters at restaurants. I'm hearing from Robert Mathis with the Gridiron Gang. I'm hearing from GMs and teams, and ESPN's talking about how at our meeting, what he did, who he introduced himself. It's like this guy's team has been talking for him a lot. Feels like we need to get to know him better because what we're learning quickly is this is going to be the guy that you want to lead your team from being a little bit of an abysmal mess for most recent history to maybe a relevant conversation in the NFC North. Eberflus is there, the head coach of the Bears. Keenan Allen, the newest member of the Chicago Bears, is there. You saw him dap up whenever he came onto the field. And today is going to be a choreographed, rehearsed, offensive display by Caleb Williams that's going to leave us all dumbfounded and gobsmacked by his talent. This guy can be special. Now he's throwing to Jerry Rice's kid, which helps. And they weren't able to win many games because their defense was giving up like 55 points. And by many games, I mean like the big ones, whenever we talk about championships and everything, which are going to hold over his head. But this guy is being talked about as the next one, Pac-Man. What are your thoughts on if a rookie quarterback can play in the style that he plays and have success? And do you think it's going to be easy to follow up what C.J. Stroud just did as the greatest NFL rookie quarterback in history? That's real.
I don't know if he's gonna be able to do what Strauss did. Strauss had one of the best years that we'll ever see.
Yep.
This kid can play football. The question is, can he throw the comebacks and do the little things? We know he can throw the deep ball. They threw the deep ball the whole season. But I think he could be good. I don't like all the other antics that's coming with it about what team he want to go to.
Yeah, I'll go here. I'll maybe do this.
Yeah, it feels like that's bullshit, though.
That was his team. It was either his team or maybe it was somebody that didn't think they were going to be in the top 3 picks. Trying to like say some bullshit. Or, people did say that and everybody immediately was like,
right, please can it? Because I read it on something like it was like, well, you should say you don't want to go to the Bears and do what Eli said. Pause, bro.
RG3.
Pause.
Right.
And the G.
Well, I learned the origin story of triple sticks, and I don't know if he loves that.
What's the origin
What do you
story?
mean?
I think it's in the jungle.
Yeah, that's the first time I ever heard triple sticks was in the jungle. So
Yeah, Jim Rome, right?
yeah, bingo. Yep.
Yeah, so
But Romy was speaking very highly of him when he was talking about it.
Was he?
I think so, if my memory serves right.
Usually is.
Yeah.
Anyways, RG3 is a massive media personality now. They have him on Monday Night Countdown.
Yep.
He's on, all NFL stuff. Does a lot of college stuff as well, but like legitimate personality in the NFL sport. Like has won an NFL Rookie of the Year over Andrew Luck. So like his say matters and it's going to reach a lot of people. Whenever he did that, hey, he needs to command that the Chicago Bears don't draft him. Boy, that got quite a reaction out of a lot of people. And RG3 became the guy who became like, okay, this guy, what are we even, this is the NFL. There's 32 jobs. Like, what are we, you're getting drafted that high because you are very good and their place is still trying to turn over. Now, they didn't even, this is the Panthers' number 1 overall pick, not the Bears. But instead, like RG3 becomes almost heel. And Caleb Williams is a guy now that would be honored to be a Chicago Bear. Like would be very excited to go and be a part of changing a culture in a place that has a very passionate fan base. Like everything Caleb's saying seems to be right. And today will be another display of him being great with a football in his hand.
Yeah, and Dan Orlovsky, I saw the bottom line on Get Up this morning about how it is the greatest situation in the last 30 years for a number 1 overall pick. Like, think about Burrow. Like, Burrow came in as number 1 overall, got murdered, legitimately almost got his head taking off of his body because the Bengals deserved and earned the number 1 overall pick. And then you look at the Bears and it's like, hey, the Bears probably would have had a top 5 pick, and then they closed the season so hot after trading for Sweat. Like, they were finally getting their groove when the season ended. They still end up with the number 1 pick as the Panthers. And then you look at the moves they made this offseason. It's like, hey, now he has Keenan Allen and DJ Moore, and that's probably the biggest or number 1 problem he has with going to Chicago is going to DJ Moore and being like, hey, I heard what you said about me and Fields being better than me. Like, can you give me a couple practices to prove it that I am pretty good at football? Because aside from that, like, they drafted first-round O-line last year. They're going to have another top 10 pick. They could probably draft another first-round top 10 tackle this year with him. They don't really need weapons now because they have, Keenan, DJ Moore. Signed Swift, paid Cole Kmet. Like, they don't have that many holes on their team.
And Eberflus's culture is seemingly settling in.
Boom.
And his culture was something that was beloved here in Indianapolis by everybody that played in there. And they're putting a focus on it and getting people that he wants in there. It's like, feels like they're maybe turning a corner.
Seriously.
Hey, Zito, you guys turning a corner right now. Now, it sucks for Justin Fields that this didn't all happen, whenever Justin Fields was coming in as the number 11 overall pick to the Chicago Bears. But it's like, with Caleb Williams, you got to be pumped that you're going to a team that isn't the worst in the NFL, wasn't the worst in the NFL, and also investing in what would make a rookie NFL quarterback's life easier. We got offensive line, defense, and running back. So what does that mean? Well, there's a lot of this happening, and then what? And then now Caleb has a little bit open. Who are his receivers? Though he doesn't have any. They just signed another one.
Pros.
A guy who's just always open.
Got 100
it's like
catches last year.
Good for the look at the Bears.
Seriously,
it's a positive.
Watch
comeback.
that division. Like, if the Vikings trade up and do get one of those top 3 guys, all of a sudden they're 4 quarterback? I guess you could say 3 because Goff's a little older, but like 3 very, very young quarterbacks in that division for the next 15 years.
And the NFC North's the kitchen. It's hot in the kitchen.
It is. Yep.
That's how it goes.
Hell yeah.
And the cream's still at the top. Foxy knows.
The Detroit Lions?
No, I mean, I'm saying the Packers and the Lions are, right there.
Yeah.
Well, you can't just say half of the division is the cream that's at the top.
Well, it is, though, because half the division won a playoff game last year. and the Lions won a couple. And if they wouldn't have choked in the NFC Championship, they would have went to the Super Bowl.
And they would have won the Super Bowl.
And if the Packers wouldn't have choked in, they should have beat the Niners, and they probably beat the Lions.
Well,
they probably win the Super Bowl. So it's,
NFC North's got a couple Super Bowl champions.
It does.
Exactly.
It does.
You're a nose hair away from 2 Super Bowl champions in the division.
Nobody's talking about it.
No, they're not.
Hey, NFC North, small towns, yeah.
Okay.
Nobody wants to talk about it.
And those teams only got better.
So maybe that's what RG3 was talking about.
Could be.
Maybe RG3, you say, you need to get out of Chicago.
Yeah, more sense.
You got 2 Super Bowl champions in the NFC North already.
Yeah.
You need to get to the NFC East. Everybody stinks over here.
Exactly.
Division stinks.
Yeah, one of them just went to the Super Bowl.
Let's talk about the NFL in a little bit more in-depth fashion, shall we?
Yes.
Let's talk about a play that not only I was paid about half my salary to do, Adam Pac-Man Jones was paid to be a part of, in a play that has produced some of the most electric moments in the history of the NFL, was on the verge of being eliminated.
No.
Oh, my God.
They were talking about getting rid of it. Hey, how do you start a football game? Well, it's kickoff. Well, it's 11 on 11.
Mm-hmm.
Kick a ball off. We got high speed. We got strategy.
What?
We got wedges. We got big hits.
What?
We got tackles.
What?
We got house calls. Da-da-da. Da-da-da.
Dun.
Then all of a sudden, stats started coming out. People started chit-chatting.
Mm-hmm.
And we realized, I guess, that there's a lot more injuries on this particular play as most people are running about 17 to 18 miles an hour as Pac-Man Jones at the 30, 25, 20, fourth quarter, down 7. Caught by... Is that a white guy?
What?
Was that a white guy?
Is that the kicker?
No.
Is that the kicker?
That was not a kicker, but that looked like...
It sure
Like
did.
a white guy.
That might have been a white guy.
That's Sean Moore.
Hey, that white guy is really fast.
That
too.
guy rolling.
Dan
He
Morgan?
went 600.
Is that Dan Morgan? 42?
It might be. Wow.
I didn't know that was a Caucasian that caught you on your longest kickoff return of your entire career.
Yikes.
Boy, that jacks me up all of a sudden.
Yeah.
But there was a chance that particular play, great return, Pack.
Yeah.
Bengals will go on to score the next play, tie up, go to overtime, ends up being a tie. So when you talk about massive plays and swinging of momentum, in things that some teams are able to take advantage of and some teams don't focus on enough. Like, there's a lot of strategy, jobs, and everything on the line at every single kickoff. And because of the stats saying that it's the most injury-riddled play in football, we need to get ourselves... Graham Gano kind of got shook there, too. Why'd you do that?
Set him down.
Hey, he might have caught you, too.
Yeah, you got trapped.
You're lucky Gano. Hey.
Man, no wonder you retired.
Oh, my... Let's move along.
Okay.
Pac-Man, that was a great return.
It was a great return.
Good.
That's
It'd be
the only
great if
time I
he
ever got
scored.
caught.
He's an all-pro returner, too.
Yep.
So,
Not that year.
that's actually his longest kickoff return, too. Normally, DB's not doing kickoff return. Why? Because they're on the field the entire drive.
Ooh.
And then what? Kickoff, now you got to do, we need you to go 105. Normally, your wide receivers, running backs, a little bit, people that maybe been on in stride out a little bit so the white guys don't get you at the 5-yard line. Anyways, with all that being...
Score. I didn't see that.
That was Colin Jones.
He's a dog.
That was Colin Jones. Hey, Colin. Had a baby, Colin.
Got tackled by Colin?
Will Compton did not have Colin Jones on the team.
No, he
But
didn't.
we would like to submit some evidence
Yeah.
that Colin Jones might deserve a little bit of a look. They never used Colin in the right way.
It didn't.
Nope.
This guy should have been on the outside.
Yeah.
DB? What the hell?
Oh, my God.
He was safety.
Hey, that baby, Colin.
Hey, baby, call him. 137 games.
Guy's a dog.
Yeah. Put in his time.
Anyways, so the kickoff was about to be eliminated completely. There's been a couple different options over the last couple of years that have been pitched to the NFL, and the NFL didn't like it, or maybe all the special teams coordinators didn't get on board, so there was a little bit of fighting amongst the coordinators and special teams ranks. Can you get 24 hours to pass this? Yes, but how do the coordinators feel about it? They hate everything. The coordinators seemingly have come together with an idea that they all enjoy, an idea that'll save kickoff, that'll save special teamers' jobs, that'll save the strategy of kickoff returns in the game, while also still having an opportunity for a team to recover an onside kick so that if they're in the game in the fourth quarter, they can still get back like they've always been able to do. There's a rule proposal called the NFL hybrid kickoff that they're pitching this weekend that could potentially save the kickoff play. The leader of the special teams coordinators that have kind of architected this particular kickoff off of the XFL's kickoff, ladies and gentlemen, from the New Orleans Saints, Coach Dahn.
Yeah. Coach.
This is a Jersey boy. You'll be able to tell that immediately upon him opening his mouth. Coach, good seeing you, pal.
What's going on, fellas? I got to say this first. Colin Jones was a hell of a player.
Yeah, he was, wasn't he?
Colin Jones could play.
Yeah.
Yeah, he walked Pac-Man Jones. Hey, Pac, what's your run your 40 in?
4.28.
4.28?
What?
Colin Jones is running a fly 4.1.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Hey, but I'm still upset at Pac-Man about something. He probably will remember this. I'm at the Dolphins. We're playing the Bengals. We're in pregame one year, and our punter's kicking balls down into their end, and Pac-Man's catching them and turning around and kicking them in the stands.
Little moxie.
I definitely remember that.
Yeah, don't know how many balls you guys brought for the game, but you're going to be out a few. Yeah, the other team's returner catching the punts in warm-ups was always like just frowned upon.
Of course.
But there were a few returners that would try to steal a couple, because if you're watching how the ball's turning over, you get a chance to kind of get a seat, because you see it on film, but actually getting a chance to feel it. And then they come over, you can't do that. Oh, you're right. But I already stole it. I already got the entire situation. Obviously, Pac, one of the greatest returners of all time. He's not the only person that did that. But, Coach, let's talk about this kickoff rule. Let's talk about how we got here. So it feels as if, from not only you, but all the other special teams coordinators that I've talked to, is there was almost like hey, we need to figure something out or they're going to eliminate the kickoff. Is that a real feeling, an accurate feeling? And how passionate were you guys to put something together to save the play, Coach?
Yeah, that is the narrative, Pat, and I think you're right. But I think this. Listen, the game is called football, and we want to make sure we're keeping the foot in the game. That's the number one goal of the special teams coaches. And listen, I know this. We all got together in Indianapolis, all the special teams coordinators. There was about 55 or 60 total special teams coaches in the meeting. It was a collaborative effort. We've gone through this rule with a fine-tooth comb, and here's the goal. The goal was two things. Number one, make this play safer. You mentioned it. I just saw your opening. You're talking about making this play, kind of shrinking the space and speed of the play a little bit, making this play a safer play for the players. And then number two, making this more exciting for the fans. Last year in the NFL regular season, there was 1,970 touchbacks. No one wants to watch that. No one wants to watch the most watched football program or the most watched television show of all time is the Super Bowl. There was 13 touchbacks, no kickoff return. So, we took upon ourselves in a collaborative effort to come up with what we feel after about a 2-year study is a really good, a condensed version of what we do now, the hybrid kickoff that's going to, number one, make this play a lot more safer, and number two, get that excitement back in the game.
Okay, which we love, and I was very against this. Openly and loud. You actually hit me up a couple different times on my show being like, hey, would like to explain why we're doing this. Because it's hard to look at that XFL one and not go, well, this is Mickey Mouse. But then as you start putting stats together and then also realizing that this game or this play this thing could be extinct if we don't figure this out, because the injury rates continue to be what they are, but also the boredom of what these plays have become. Even the biggest, I'm a massive kickoff fan. I love the play. I think there's a lot of strategy. But when you're watching a game, it's just like, all right, it's a showcase. And these guys are kicking balls further than they've ever kicked them before. I watched Buckner put one like fifth row maybe, and I'm like, damn, these dudes are murdering balls. So aside from it being a home run derby by the kickers, it has lost its luster. So let's go to the rule that you guys are going to be pitching, or the kickoff that you're going to be pitching. Here's the graphic that we made. The NFL also released their own graphic today, I think just moments ago, because they heard that we were going to be talking about this on the show, Coach. So basically, if we can go through this, and correct me if I'm ever wrong, kickers will still be kicking off from the 35. The rest of the kickoff team will be lined up at the plus 40. That's the other team's 40. Have to have 2 players outside the numbers on each side, 2 players in the alleys or the lanes, which is in between the numbers and the hash marks on each side, and then 1 player on each hash mark. That is 11 on the kickoff team. And that is correct?
That is correct, yes.
And then on the flip side, at the 35, because in between the 40 and the 35 will be a neutral zone. We will talk about that in a moment. No headshots in there. Okay. No takeouts, no spears, nothing. That's a neutral zone in between the 40 and the 35. In between the 35 and the 30, there has to be 9 players. 7 of them have to have their line or their foot on the 35-yard line. 2 of them are allowed to be behind, but they cannot move until the ball touches something after the ball is kicked, correct?
That's correct. You're good so far, yep.
And then from the goal line to the 20 will be the landing zone where you're allowed to have 2 returners, and those returners are allowed to move, right? I believe before the ball is kicked or touches anything?
That's correct. They can go anywhere in that landing zone, move around, any formation. They could stack, they could be together, they could be apart. Doesn't matter. Yep.
Okay, so you got 10 coverage guys and 9 blocking people within 10 yards of each other. So that eliminates the big-time run-up shots with each other. That eliminates any potential blind sides running from the other side of the field because you're all kind of linked together. This is pseudo a punt when the ball's already in the middle of the air, or a kickoff whenever everybody is already gathered after the full-speed 45-yard run-up with the other side. Trying to eliminate massive collisions, trying to eliminate hamstring pulls and head injuries, right? That is why we're doing this setup here, Coach?
Yeah, I would agree with that. The injury rate right now, as we believe this, and running all the all the tests on it, everything, we feel the injury rate will be way down and come down closer to what a normal offensive defensive scrimmage play would look like. Yes.
Okay, so let's go to the kicking now. The ball has to land in the landing zone, and nobody on the field will move other than the returners and the kicker until the ball touches something, whether that's a returner catching it or the ball hitting the ground in the landing zone. Then the play will officially start for the 10 and 9 people that are blocking around the neutral zone. If the ball is kicked into the end zone as a touchback on the fly, the return team will get the ball at the 35. If you kick it and it doesn't make it to the landing zone, or you kick it out of bounds, returning team gets the ball at the 40. That's 1 first down away with some kickers from points. So it's a massive penalty. So what is being encouraged here is kick the ball into the landing zone as soon as the returner gets it. Probably want to land that within the 5. Okay, you probably want to kick that, land that within the 5, because if you land it at the 19, returner gets a full running start on that before anybody has moved. And then, boom, we just have standard kickoff rules. No double teams, no wedges, no blind sides, right, Coach?
Well, the guys in the setup zone, Pat, they can be a part of a double team. The only guy that can't be a part of a double team is the guy in the back, the off returner that doesn't get the ball. He can't come clean anybody up. He can't be part of any double teams. But the guys in the setup zone, those 9 players, they can, just like currently, they can be part of a double team.
Okay, going to have to be quick to set that up. I mean, that is going to be difficult with everybody being right on top of you already. This is a take off the XFL. I believe there's a couple things that are different. Speaking of different, onside kick rules. Well, those only can happen in the 4th quarter for the team that is down, and they have to deem that they're doing an onside kick, in which the setup will go back to what it currently is, and you have to kick an onside kick in that particular rep. Only in the 4th quarter, losing team beforehand have to say we're doing an onside kick. Proper? Is that right?
That's correct. And then the ball's going to have to be touched in that setup zone area. So basically, the kickoff team be the same exact rules as it is now, but you can't. What you couldn't do is you couldn't declare an onside kick and then kick the ball deep. That'll be an unsportsmanlike. So that ball's got to be touched in that 25-yard area, which is where all the onside kicks are touched right now anyway. So really no change, no big difference to that part.
Okay, because I had that question because I have a couple onside kicks that I have kicked. Like here's one against the Tennessee Titans where I hit it a little fat, so it goes a little deeper, but that ball is recovered 25 yards down the field there at the 40, you know? So in my head, at the beginning of the 4th quarter, we're going to deem that we're going to do an onside kick, but we need a 20-yard, 25-yard onside kick here as opposed to one that we're trying to get it to 10, 11 yards. I was immediately trying to game this. I was immediately like, all right, if these are the rules, I'm going to try to game this thing as much as possible. You already thought about that because all you assholes were doing the same thing. Yes, that is what happened.
Yeah, no question. What we don't want is a team that's trailing. Want to give them the opportunity, obviously, to recover the onside kick, but at the same time, we don't want a team to declare an onside kick and then kick the ball deep. So that would be an unsportsmanlike. So you have a 25-yard area to work with. That ball's got to be touched in that area, which we think is extreme, which is fair.
Biggest win for kicking team is ball lands in landing zone, then becomes a touchback because then the ball comes out to the 20, which is what an old touchback used to be. That is what would be the perfect outcome for the kicking team. That is what they would be looking for, yes?
I think 2 aspects for the kicking team. Yeah, one, the both you've mentioned. One, hang the ball, get that ball down as close to the goal line as you can without going in the end zone, and then go cover. And then second one is you can get the ball on the ground and it rolls into the end zone like you mentioned. The ball comes at a 20. One small caveat that you didn't mention is every ball, like old school rules, every ball is going to have to be downed in the end zone. The ball that lands in the end zone untouched has to be downed. We're going to down every ball. The reason for that is those balls that might skip into the end zone, we don't want those to be automatic touchbacks. We want to give the return team the opportunity to go in, take the ball out, and be able to still return the ball. Where right now under the current umbrella, you would not be able to do that.
Okay.
So every ball will be down.
Okay, so it sounds like we're trying to create a lot more returns and make teams want to return the ball as opposed to just taking the ball in the 25. And teams are not going to want to give up a 35-yard start line if you hit an actual touchback or a 40-yard if you don't make it in the landing zone. So we're going to get more returns seemingly out of this. Have you guys ran the numbers on how many more plays and how much more action we will get from this particular kickoff?
Yeah, the feeling, Pat, is that there'll probably be about an 80 to 85% return rate under the current proposal. So if you take the 1,970 touchbacks plus the fair catches, there were 92 fair catches last year, so now we're over 2,000 plays. So if we can get an 80% return rate, 85% return rate, we're talking about we're going to add another 1,600 plays to the NFL season, which is great for players, coaches, fans, great for everybody.
Yeah, and also all kickoffs are potential house calls. So it's not just like a throwaway play. All you need is, and you're trying to coach this out of people, but all you need is one of these, and then all of a sudden, instead of this, and then we got house calls happening. So the game's getting better from this. The only thing that sucks is you guys are taking fun out of the game. They're taking surprise onside kicks out of the game. No, you're trying to kill the game, coach. You're taking surprise onside kicks. I made a living off of these. This was one of the things that hey, why do you have Pat on your team? Well, the dipshit's not bad at surprise onside kicks. That's what people would actually say. You guys are taking it out of the game, coach. I remember doing one. Well, we only did 4, I think, my whole 8 years.
It's a lot, though.
We got 4 in 1 year. That's a record, NFL record.
Comparison.
I think we tied there. I kicked one to myself. And but I think we only did 5 or 6 over 8 years.
Well, without that, where's the Hall of Fame nod?
Bingo. I need it.
How about that?
Yeah. And you're playing for the Saints.
Now he's taking it out.
The most important play. Ambush, Thomas Morrison. They won a Super. Take down the banner down there in New Orleans. Now. You guys don't want surprise onside kicks anymore. Thomas Morrison against who? Oh, give me my ring. I was, Peyton Manning and I. But the surprise onside kicks is the big thing that we're losing, right? That's the big conversation piece. And then you start doing math, I guess, and you guys all realize the same thing I think everybody else did.
No question. I think one of the things you got to look back and when we changed the kickoff rules in 2018 under the current umbrella, where the setup zone rules changed, the kickoff formation rules changed, no more kickoff running start changed, all that. We essentially made it a lot harder to recover a surprise onside kick, and I think that the fans would be a little bit surprised by the reality of the situation and how little that play has been used since the kickoff rules were changed in 2018. So, for example, this past season, there was literally 2 surprise onside kick attempts, and the league was 0 for 2. Over the course of the last 5 years, there's been less than 4 per year. And I think of the last 15 surprise onside kick attempts, we're looking at 2 recoveries. So we're really, again, I understand. I'm in the house of the biggest surprise onside kick in the history of NFL. So believe me, I get it. I'm in the house of the ambush. But the ambush rules back then, the rules were different. It was a little bit easier to recover the kick. The kickoff formations weren't as tightly officiated as they are now. There was a running start by the kickoff team. All those things. I mean, you have Griff Whalen there recovering your kick for the Colts. Griff had the running start going. So again, I get it. It's probably, there's 2 things that I think when you look at this current proposal, that the things that I keep hearing the most. Number one, we're losing the surprise onside kick. Okay, so we're talking about 3 or 4 plays in a year across the league. And then number 2, you mentioned it before, Pat. The first time I saw the XFL version, I hated it also. And I know you keep mentioning the XFL, and there's definitely some components of this play that have XFL, qualities to it. However, roots, no question. And listen, there was a lot. I'm going to give credit. There was a lot of great things that they came up with. There was a lot of things that they got right. But on the flip side of that coin, there's a lot of things they got wrong. And we feel like over this last 2 years, we've studied every kickoff from every league, USFL, CFL, Arena League, NFL, XFL, high school, college. We've looked any league that has a kickoff, we've studied it. And we feel this hybrid kickoff is, like I said, a condensed version of what the NFL does now. And so there was 5 or 6, things that the XFL was doing that we have eliminated from the play. And we feel that have made the play a lot better for the fans, the coaches, the players, really everybody. And like I said, it keeps the foot in the game. It makes the play safer for the players. And it makes the play more exciting for the fans.
Hell yeah. I think talking to you a few times about this, and also other special teams coordinators around the league who I think everybody's on board, right? Everybody's on board with this.
The special teams coaches walked out of the room in Indianapolis, and we're all on the same page. We all feel it was a collaborative effort. Everyone feels like this is going to be great for the game. And the other factor, Pat, is I've talked to many, many guys across the league, the players, guys from the NFLPA, guys from the executive committee. And the players are on board on this thing as well. In the past, last year there was some talk about the fair catch and should we do something? And quite frankly, we weren't ready back then. We weren't ready to make the massive changes. We needed a whole nother year to make sure we did a deep dive. We cross every T, we dot every I. We come up and we have an answer to every situation. Things like, penalty enforcement and things like after a safety, all those situations that could come up. Onside kick, all those. We wanted to make sure that we had an answer to all those questions. And so, like I said, this isn't just me. There's a lot of hands right now in the soup. There's a lot of guys. There's a lot of great coaches out there across the league that have had some great ideas. And this has been a collaborative effort amongst the coaches. And we feel strongly about this. And again, all the things I've already mentioned, that we think this could be a really great thing for the league.
Hell yeah, and I hope they pass it. And before we get to when this could potentially start, after safety, we just move everything up? What is after safety?
There's still some discussion. The way there's a couple different ways to go with it. Number one, you could just move the kicker and leave all the setup zone players where they currently are. You could obviously move all the setup zone, but so we're still talking through some of those adjustments on the fly. There's a couple of good things as far as penalty enforcement, but that still needs to be. We've given our recommendations to the league. We've talked to the competition committee. We talked to the NFL, and we've given our recommendations. But so there's a couple different ways you can go. For simplicity's sake, any carryover penalties, it's probably the best initially just to move the kicker. But again, those things are still in the talks. And we want to make sure that.
Yeah, it's getting voted on this weekend. Is that what you've heard? Is that what we're at the next league? And then is this potentially in next year? Is that what is being chatted about?
So this is my awareness right now. Currently, this will be presented to the coaches, GMs, and owners at the owners' meetings next week in Orlando. This will be presented to them. The rule change, I believe it'll be voted on. I can't get into all the nuts and bolts of how that works, but yes, potentially this could be in for this coming season, the 2024 season. Yes, sir.
Hey, let's save the kickoff. We appreciate the hell out of you, man. Thank you for coming on and joining us, and hopefully next year we get 1,600 more plays.
Let's go.
Absolutely. And Pat, and you guys probably don't, some of those guys on the set probably don't know this, but I got to give Pat one compliment. I'm not kissing butt here. I coached against Pat back in the day. I was at Rutgers. He was at West Virginia, and he was the all the way around guy. Pat, you remember this game. 2006 Big East Championship, triple overtime at West Virginia. We were getting the ball back. That was a triple overtime game. You hit one of the best punts that I've ever seen a college punter hit in that game. And I'm sure you remember. It was a little short roll out to the right, and you painted the sideline at about 65 yards.
Thank you.
And our punt returner was Tim Brown, and I was excited for Tim to get the ball in that game. But we also got screwed by the refs in that game.
Hey, we appreciate the hell out of you, Coach. You've been very nice to me throughout my entire career. I've enjoyed watching you go, too. I've really enjoyed watching you from Rutgers to the Dolphins, now with the Saints, and now you're one of the leaders of saving the kickoff. You done good, Coach. I appreciate the hell out of you.
Appreciate you guys, man. Thanks so much for having me on.
Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Darren Rizzi.
Yeah, Coach.
Just a Jersey.
Oh, yeah.
Coaching at Rutgers, too. With Shiano, man.
Oh, jeez.
Just like hard nose.
Perfect.
Hey, this is where we play football. Yeah. I would always have conversations with them. Because I was kicker and punter, you see. So, they're watching me do everything. What's my op time on punts? Yeah. What's op time on field goal? So literally the other special teams coach is just standing next to me for about 20 minutes. So it's Well, we're gonna talk. I guess.
Yeah, shoot the shit.
I guess we're gonna chit chat here. Those are good times back there in Morgantown. Good times back in Morgantown. Saving the kickoff. It feels like.
Yeah, more returns, more opportunities. As a return man, you loving this. Now that I've heard everything and seen how many more balls we gonna have in play, I'm licking my chops. Like, yeah, I'm gonna touch this thing at least 5-6 times a game.
Now, there's a chance that coverage is able to smother because the NFL coverage is obviously very good. And a couple of XFL, I think they broke a couple free. Yeah. But and I think the returners in the XFL weren't anywhere near as fast as what guys are going to be in the NFL. This could break open. There could be some massive returns.
Yeah.
Like if you're able in the neutral zone to set up some doubles, literally all you need is 2 guys that are next to each other to just accidentally go the wrong way, and then bang, we're to the kicker. Kicker's not allowed to go past the 50, is what I was told. Because I said, sweet, when I first heard this rule, I'm kicking this thing and I'm running.
Oh, yeah.
And there's nobody, I'm the only one running. So I'm the only human with full speed. Now I got 20-some tackles.
Sure.
Okay. Not everybody's thinking this way. Or put a safety in there.
Right.
All he's got to do is get it down inside the 10. That's all that matters. He's running. You got a 4-5 guy, 4-4 guy. They thought of that. So like literally as he was telling me all the rules, I was figuring out, okay, so how am I? Because that's how special teams coordinators operate. How are we beating the game? How are we beating the game? That's why they said they needed like a year. Let's take a year here so everybody can think of how they would try to screw over the other team with all these rules, because that's how special teams kind of works. And it feels like they got it all figured out. You heard him talk about giving credit to the XFL rule. Yeah, there's XFL roots, yes, for sure. A lot of the NFL guys, because the XFL was taking a victory lap because they created this XFL kickoff when XFL was happening.
Sure.
And all NFL coordinators were like, this is just a kickoff practice. Yeah. This is a kickoff practice. That's all. You're just doing a kickoff practice rep here. When we're trying to save people's legs, we move them down the field. This is literally just a drill.
Friday practice.
Yeah, this is a Friday. Yeah, this is a kickoff drill that you guys have put in there, which is why my immediate reaction is like, this is not a kick. This is to save guys' legs. This is not a real deal. But then you start hearing like, hey, we're in dire needs. Like, we're not at the time of like, well, I don't like that. Do you have a better idea? Because we need it. Because the way the stats are coming out, whenever plays are actually happening, the amount of, I think, muscles and heads they're saying, it's like, we need to figure this out. They seemingly have threaded the needle. Congrats to them. And you'll never hear one rule that every special teams coordinator agrees on.
Yeah.
Never. You'll never hear one. Even like lining up on sides. There will be some special teams coordinator that's like, I think that's kind of bullshit. We should be able to have a guy that's able to do this. So for them to all be on board, this is the first time the NFL has ever had that. NFL PA's on board. Feels like this is one that's going to be an easy pass at the owner meeting this weekend.
And I feel like the cool part is, to your point about like setting up the returns, like this is an advantage for special teams coaches that can figure out how to set up a good return. Like we always talk about, great OCs and great DCs. There's never a conversation about like great special teams coordinators, and this feels like a perfect example.
Harbaugh, right?
Yeah.
Joe Judge.
Yeah, sure.
So,
head coaches.
Yeah, but that's the only time they ever get Tobe, Bones.
Yeah, Bones.
Janie Smith.
Tom McMahon.
Rich Bisaccia.
Rich Bisaccia. Like there are some guys, but you're right. It'll be on display.
Never like coordinating. There's no Kellen Moore of special teams coordinating that's never been a head coach that everyone knows who he is.
Yeah, like Bubba. Bubba's going to do well with this. Like the creative, good coaches. Darren.
Because it's a lot of space in there. If you think about it, that's a lot of space. I wonder what happened if someone jump outside. Would they you just go back 5?
Yeah, or do you want it the other way? Like if you're the return team, do you want that kicker closer? Because then he might kick it into the end zone and you get at the 40.
Yeah, but
that's a good question.
I wonder if they're not moving the neutral zone.
Exactly. Do you move the neutral zone
back 5?
Up or back?
But because if you move it up,
it's
then it's 25 yards for the kicker into the end zone. Or are you saying that the 5-yard line is now the end zone?
No, I'm talking about moving not the landing zone.
He's talking about the line.
The neutral zone.
Right.
Oh,
so
yeah.
From
My question is, do you move
35
the
to 40.
kicker, though? Like, if say if they get a flag for offsides, do the kicker come up 5, or do we go back 5, or do we move the whole line back 5?
Yeah, does everything move?
I'm thinking everything should move.
But then that gives the kicker 25 yards.
Kind of what he talked about.
No, not the landing. Landing zone still stays.
Which is easier for the kicker, though, right? Because there's more room because you're kicking it further.
No, I'm saying landing zone stays 0 to 20. Then.
Yes. But because the kicker's going back 5 yards, doesn't that give him more room to kind of put more under it?
No, there's some.
That won't get
especially
there.
like December in some of these places. And I think what this is going to do, a ripple effect is this, is a lot more of the weak-legged kickers who are great field goal kickers who kind of been knocked for like, this guy can't kick off though. If we need a touchback, this guy's not going to be able to do it.
Pooch kick it.
Exactly. Now it's like they're going to get a little bit of an opportunity. But could you imagine December, January, we got one of those super windy games?
Yeah, exactly.
And somebody kicks off and it doesn't make it to the 20, and then all of a sudden they got the ball at the 40 and they're down 2 or whatever with a minute 20 left. It's like the moments are going to be gigantic, and that is going to be a heartbreaker for fans that our kicker can't make it to the landing zone.
Come on.
We can't make it to a 20-yard buffer in this entire. That's going to happen.
Especially he was talking about now, like they're still talking through it, but say someone gets a 15-yard penalty after the touchdown. And normally, you just move the whole kickoff team back 15 yards and you do the situation. Like, are you moving the kicker back 15 yards and then he's not making it to the landing zone? So if he's not making the landing zone, that 15-yard penalty that you got on your touchdown now gives the other team the ball at the 40 to start the next drive.
The ball at the 40, if you were to look at the stats, and I don't think like
One first down.
One first down, you're in points with some kickers, but the percentage of times you score whenever your drive starts at the 40 is probably like 75%. The percentage of drives, percent of scoring drives that start in like your own 10 is like 5%, 6%. So like that's why like kickers, punters, and special teamers, field position is what you're being paid for.
Field position.
Because in the long game, how many first downs do they have to get before they punt? If you're able to flip the field, that's a big deal. If you're able to pin them inside the 20, I think the percentages, and these are just, you get it. It's like 15, 20. It's a very high. It's a very different ball game whenever you're starting at the 40, your own 40, versus whenever you're backed up in the 20. So it's like, there's a lot of setups here. And if you accidentally shank one,
Yeah.
you used to be able to like steal, because like I hit one fat and it like rolls and you steal a touchback or whatever. If it lands at like the 21, that ball's on the 40. That is...
Well, and to your point about the wind, like weak-legged kickers, like what if there's a massive wind at the back and Butker goes out there and he's swinging?
Drop it.
Yeah, he's swinging a quarter, but because it's Butker, that ball's going to the standstill.
That's a whole nother ball game.
Yeah.
I'm very happy that this is not for me. I only had one pitch, and I was coming out fastball.
Baby.
I was coming out. We were doing an onside kick, or I was coming fastball as far as I possibly can. And because we did so many onside kicks, they put hands team against us. We were kind of one of the first teams that had to stare down what is now basically hands team on the field at all times. And it's like, I used to be able to steal touchbacks because they have no setup for returns. So like teams deciding not to return with these new rules, with the hands team rules, it's also because it's impossible to get back and set up a return. So like, we will fair catch. Why? Because we don't have guys running 4.4s that can get back and set up a return. We might as well just take the fair catch. Now it's like forcing teams. Like, hey, you have to return.
Yeah.
That ball's landing in the landing zone. You have to return. I think fair catch gets where you fair catch it at. It's not like it comes out. So I think it's like
can't fair catch.
Now we're dancing.
Yeah.
Now there's
gonna be too many fair catches.
How about end of the game? 15 seconds left. You just took the lead.
Well, I wouldn't fair catch it 35.
No, I'm saying it's kickoff.
You can't.
I mean, that has to be the
You got to pooch kick it. It got to be a good kick. You got to kick it in between the 20.
Yeah, but then you could just bash that thing to an actual touchback. Ball comes out to the 35.
Yeah.
Now, do they run the clock at all? Hey, defense, need you 10 seconds. Okay, not allow them to get in there. It's like those end of game squibs that take place, trying to eat up time. That's now a ball at the 40,
those
dead
are
ball.
dead. Yeah.
You don't want to do that.
No time off the clock. Oh, hey, there could be some
That's
real,
a whole different game.
There's some real stuff that could really come into play because, all the game management shit that people talk about, this guy took a timeout, this guy went for it, they all end with a special teams play. Not all of them, but most of them end with a special teams play. Like a field goal, we're choosing to punt, we're not choosing to punt. How about the kickoff? Are we choosing to give it up? Are we not? It's like special teams, even though the game management happens here, is normally the end of the road. And it gets affected, and it's like, with this one, I think we're going to, I don't even know if they've projected out all the shit that could potentially take place or decisions that are going to have to be made. And if you mishit a ball and put somebody on the 40, I mean, that's a game changer.
You're going to get killed.
15 seconds, you swivel kick it. That's 8 seconds, probably 7 seconds left on the clock.
Now,
that's
no time.
Now,
15 seconds still on the clock. You got the ball at the 40.
Yeah.
Oh my! There's like no easy way out almost for a couple of things. This is a big deal. This is changing the game, and I'm very happy that Coach Riz came on and was like, "Here's what we're laying out," because he wants to. Not that the world listens to this show, although it feels like that, but our numbers aren't good. Okay. Anyways, would like people to know what they're pitching. So, like, hey, whenever you hear this, because some rules that get pitched, like some of it just like kind of leak out, and it's the natural reaction for everybody is that's stupid. That sounds stupid. But now I think the fact that we have the voice of the person who, I don't know if he was elected to do this or took it upon himself to be like, hey, we got to do this, or how it all worked out. But he's like, hey, here's what special teams coordinators put together in its entirety. You guys feel however you want about it. They're voting on it this weekend. This is what we're hoping is the case. And if it's not, we tried our absolute best. And I think these special teams coordinators, they're like sticking up for their positions too.
Yeah.
You know, like their jobs, future jobs, the people that came before them. It's like, hey, if they start taking this out, what punt? What's going to happen with punt?
That's next.
Which what happens with special teams?
Field goal.
It's like they had to come together and save it. It's good. I hope it happens.
Yeah, it'll take time for people to get used to, and there's a lot of intricacies. Like I just thought in my head, like, what if it lands before the landing zone? Is it a dead ball?
Yeah.
Okay.
No time.
Dead ball.
Dead ball. Like, so if it lands before and then rolls in, but the return team doesn't pick it up. Because the downing thing, he said everything has to be down. Like if it's kicked and it lands in the end zone and that team forgets to down it, is that a live ball?
Definitely. It sounded like he said live ball.
Yeah, he said every ball
Anything
has to be
20 in.
Because there's going to be players who've been returning for the last, I don't know, 5 years or whatever, with their heels on the end zone and just let it fly over their head all the time and don't worry about it. And a lot of the time, that ball stays in the end zone.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought that was dumb that they did that.
Yeah.
That was the most Mickey Mouse thing that I seen, because every special teams practice forever was like, hey, if this thing's in the end zone, we got a live ball here.
Yeah.
And like, hey, this returner.
Yeah.
Never Pac-Man, because Pac-Man all-pro returner. But hey, this is like kind of a lazy returner. Like this guy could potentially let a ball just sit behind him. Or they think it's rolling out of the back of the end zone. And it stops. It's like, and they're not paying attention. It's like, we can steal one. And they're like, nah, take that out of the game. If it touches the paint, touch back.
Done.
So we get it. Put the ball at the 25. Well, what if they don't want to return? They call a fair catch. Put it at the 25. We need no injuries. And then the next year, we had 2,000 plays that were nothing. Well, you guys were the ones that put in all these rules. Well, give us something better then.
Yeah.
Give us something better. And this is what they had to do. So good luck out there.
And like even the wind, like just thinking about the wind situation, like what happens if the ball's coming off the tee? Like does one of the 10 up at the
That was tweeted.
40?
That was actually just tweeted out by Florio.
Yeah,
they're going to use the kicking sticks. Yeah.
Okay, smart.
That's not bad.
But
Sticks
what
are
happens
on the field now?
Oh boy, yeah. What happens if someone trips over the sticks, running one back?
Should just get whoever's getting the tee.
There will be a dog who runs out and gets.
That's what I'm saying. Whoever's getting a tee should just have to hold the ball.
Oh, that'd be so cool for that kid. Are you kidding me?
It's not a kid. They do the kid before the game starts and put it on video.
No, they should make it a kid. They should pick someone from the stands. The other team could pick a fan from the
That's
opposing
changing
fan
football.
base.
This rule is changing football pretty dramatically.
Big time. Like it'll be interesting to see where this winds up, because he said, like we're going to need like a few years to kind of see how this thing goes, because like this is inevitably going to drastically affect the outcome of games, especially like early in the season next year, where like Diggs was saying, like teams, you just have that muscle memory of like doing something one way the entire time, and you just forget. Like there will definitely be a couple teams who probably lose games or like put themselves in very precarious positions because of something that comes from the kickoff.
I'm excited to see how it plays out if they vote it through.
Right.
Hopefully. They definitely going to vote it through, I think.
31 billion.
For them to make it up this quick, they already got in their head that it's got to change.
Well, the NFL did post it on their social. As soon as we said, no, I'm sure they were planning on doing it on this particular day at this exact time. But as soon as my big dumb mouth said, we got special teams coordinator that basically drew up the entire rule, joining us for what's going to be pitched, the NFL conveniently, and I assume they had this already planned. We are not narcissistic enough to think that we potentially changed them. But they did drop immediately afterwards, seemingly, here's the rule that is being presented, and it's in an NFL graphic. So that means the NFL has invested in piecing it together as well. So there is a chance that they've already been briefed on all this, and there is a sentiment that's going to get passed, which is why he probably feels like, hey, I can come on and pitch this entire thing.
There was a full one sheet that also came out while he was on of all the trying to explain all the rules on one sheet, which is hard to do, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah, so I think there is a chance it gets passed.
I love it. Bring more money for the returns. It's a big part of the game.
And teamers.
Field position is going to be crucial when it comes to this part of it.
And also teamers.
Yeah.
Like Slater, Bethel had a hell of a run. Colt Anderson is now the special teams coordinator for the Tennessee Titans.
Hayward Bay, who basically turned his career around with special teams.
Became a special teamer. I had a few on my squad that were just awesome. Like such cool dudes that you would never met. you know, if it wasn't for special teams happening. And they would have a vastly different life if it wasn't for special teams happening. It's like
hot assassins.
Yes. There's a couple guys that if they were
Car
not
wrecks.
playing special teams football, I genuinely do not know what their lives would have become. Genuinely. We had a couple dudes that were just like, had no idea football was on the field. That was awesome. Hey, what's the return? This guy does not know. Why does he not know? Because he's got 34. That is it.
That's what he knows.
All he's got is that guy needs to not make this play. And if he doesn't make the play, this guy's going to get paid for another week. And if he does make the play, this guy's going back to whatever
he was.
Whatever is the other option. Special teams is good for football. Special teams is good for football players. And hopefully the kickoff will become one of the most electrifying plays in football yet again, because that's what it truly is. If you understand it, every single play could be a house call. That is real deal.
I mean, ask Adam Thielen what special teams means. Like, we know him as wide receiver stud, Adam Thielen, but he started on teams, and now he is who he is.
So many Hall of Fame careers started covering kicks. I mean, like Robert Mathis was a kickoff coverage guy.
Yeah.
Now he's going to go in the Hall of Fame.
AQ on kick return.
He was the king of the wedge. That was back whenever they were like, yes, wedge, and people are going to be running 50 yards right at your face. And AQ was like, perfect. Our show's ending. It's been dumb. We do apologize for that. Tomorrow we'll try to be better. We'll continue on YouTube and ESPN Plus, and we can't thank you enough for allowing us to be a part of your day. Have an incredible evening. 2 more playing games tonight. Who's going to make it to the dance? We'll cover it tomorrow. Goodbye. That was real.
Yeah, it was good tease.
Did you change the...
Yeah.
Big time.
Tomorrow is going to be sweet. I think we forget how awesome that first day of March Madness
so
is.
good.
Very alive.
It's so good.
And we got a TV right there.
Yeah, we're just gambling on all the games.
Big money.
Just rooting for dogs.
Right around.
How about when we interview people while those games are happening?
Yeah.
We don't mean to be disrespectful.
No.
But somebody was giving one of the best answers we've ever got, and I just watched
Was it Poyer?
Oh, yeah.
Might have been
Poyer.
West Virginia.
Might have been Poyer giving a great in West Virginia.
State, I think.
Yeah, loses on it. And while he's talking, giving an answer on the TV, full heartbreak. And then he ends his answer. So we have to cut back to a 2-screen. And literally, I'm just, that's right. That's right, Jordan. West Virginia women's team's going to go on a run.
Just like Fairfield. Fairfield women are going to get it done.
Hey, did you see old Dr. Mr. Richard?
I did not.
Somebody tweeted and said, hey, we got you.
Oh, no way. All right, that's fantastic.
Athletic director maybe at Fairfield or something like that?
Whoa.
Really?
Yeah, check your mentions, dude.
Yeah, I stay out of them just because, you know.
That's smart. Very smart.
Get you on the bench.
I mean, I don't know if I want to be
I
on
think
the
you
bench.
got,
I want
you got
to
some merch like a fool.
get rowdy.
Mentions right now are hot?
You know, the, what's the term? The IWC is a persistent bunch,
They
my
never
friend.
sleep.
No, they don't.
They never sleep.
You guys aren't talking about the internet wrestling community?
Yeah.
What are they saying?
Let's just say that they're not thrilled that Connor and I are going to be in WWE 2K24.
Yeah, Michael Cole saying he's not a playable character, which he is, did not help our case either.
Good photo by Michael Cole. Good tweet here by Michael Cole.
Yeah.
As this tweet was being sent out, I got real excited. I'm like, yes.
Well, he caught me at a bad time, too. He just said, hey, look up.
Yeah, look at your wolf on your, kind of lost your nose.
Exactly. Like, I would have fixed the shirt, would have fixed the pants. Like, what are we
There's
doing?
a chance that seat in the back was William Regal's.
Whoa.
And chance. Not 100% sure.
Okay.
There's a chance. And as soon as we walked into this room, me and William Regal were chain wrestling in front of that TV right there.
Oh, yeah.
And by chain wrestling, I mean lock up.
Yep.
Him toss me into different things. My neck's broken.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, come back. Let's try this again. Lock up. Oh, chicken wing. Okay.
Yep.
All right. See how I got here? No. I honestly don't know how. Come on. Stick with me. Boom. Pop, pop, boom, boom, boom. Full Nelson.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I got a full Nelson. What the hell's going on? You see how I did? That's what we need to. I didn't see it, actually. Let me do it one more time. No. I won't do that one. Boom, bang, boom. Oh, wrist. Wrist is
worst one.
Yeah. And then I sit down, and Mike Cole's like, I need to tweet something. And it brought me right back to life. So it was a great time in that room.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. William Regal is one of one.
He's awesome.
He is a specimen.
Creator of War Games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
War Games been around a long time. Long time. old school wrestling.
But in my mind,
I believe Dusty Rhodes was in a couple. I mean, it is really
in my mind.
But yes, he is the announcer of War Games on NXT. Is what he, the memes and the gifs and everything of him. But he's legendary. Squared circle worker.
Oh yeah,
legendary.
That's some sweet
tactician. Yeah.
Every time we get to talk to him, I love it.
Oh, it's awesome. Just listening to him talk. Yeah.
He's got an accent too. It started at NXT. I literally just go up to him every time I saw him. What's going on, man? He's probably a little bit, why is this guy come and talk to me? And then he had a TikTok go viral. So that would be my next thing I brought up to him. I'm like, oh, there's the TikTok star. He goes, I'm over. He's awesome.
Well, and
William Regal is awesome.
Mr. Don't Mind If I Do introduced you to him, didn't he? Wasn't that when that whole thing started?
Listen, just because he's English doesn't mean that's what it takes to introduce someone. Danny Burch, you're talking about?
Yeah, that's just my assumption. It takes an Englishman to help you with an English.
You guys have been in the wrestling world for a long time. That's the whole thing. Like, when people get mad about me being somewhere, it's like, I know that I did not pay my dues anywhere near as much as everybody else.
Sure.
I very much understand.
Yeah.
Wish I had the opportunity to. Going back, it all worked out for me, but that was going to be what I did if it didn't work out with this right leg here. But it's like, I feel like I was with NXT for a long time doing those pre-shows.
Oh, yeah.
And then doing some of the talking head stuff, then social media stuff down at the content creation lab.
Yep.
We were down there. I mean, we almost moved our show down there at one point.
Yeah.
Like, so we've been in
We did. We went down there for like 6 months in a row every single Friday.
Yeah, so it's like, I feel like a lot of the internet wrestling community, whenever I get dropped back into something, why is this guy here? This guy sucks. It's like, I hate to admit this to you, or I hate to tell you this, but like, we've been with the WWE people more than half a decade, like coming up on almost a decade.
Yeah, long time.
Long time.
Go watch the MetLife mishap.
Okay.
That cost us $60,000 outside
Exactly.
of WrestleMania.
We were supposed. That RV was supposed to be on the Mania pre-show.
Yes, on the set. And what happened? Me and Z are
Those
driving
damn
home.
yellow shirts.
The damn holes in the roof.
We're past it now, Z. We know. You fucked that one up.
Where were the yellow shirts when the cops showed up?
Z.
They all just disappeared.
I understand the aftermath. Maybe there was some mistakes that were made, but after watching the film back at this stage of life, we can all agree. Z, we're not getting in a car when you're driving much.
No.
Anymore.
I think you can agree. I won't never agree.
Okay,
The biggest bummer.
Deny till you die, brother.
The biggest bummer from the video is just never being able to know what Zeet was about to say right before it crashed, because he was about to say something.
For those that don't know, we rented an RV. It was the road to WrestleMania. We drove, I think we did a Raw, SmackDown, and then we were at WrestleMania.
The house show was in there too.
Yeah, Gettysburg house show.
Harrisburg,
excuse me.
Harrisburg house show.
That was Hershey.
Maybe Hershey.
It was Hershey,
It was Hershey.
Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah, because the Applebee's at Hershey's.
Bingo.
Yeah, Connor got the bottom of the bag of nachos.
So we did the road to WrestleMania, which is what we're called on. We got an RV we rented from this sweet old lady.
Oh, my
Sweet old
God. That old lady.
She did not want to rent us the thing, but it was just part of it.
She
Had a
was
sweet talker a little bit.
She was so nice. Please, just don't
wreck
make it too messy in there, because I got another rental next week taking out the same vehicle.
And we made it all the way to WrestleMania. In the morning of WrestleMania, Zito zigged when these yellow shirts told him to zag.
Sure.
And what he did was...
No, they told me to zag.
Yeah, of course. Of course they did. Zito goes down this way, and right there.
What's also never told,
He's got the
we
entire
drove by
top
that.
of the RV ripped off.
We drove by that awning two
Right there.
times
Right there.
earlier that day.
And
Two times.
Can we go back to that?
Ripped the top of that thing off like a can opener.
Kept going
Then
in.
he just keeps going all the way in.
Kept going. We can make
All
it.
the way in.
We can make it.
And then, hold on, wait a second, we've come too far. Rips that thing in reverse.
No, we don't.
Yes.
No.
So everything that just got folded up one way,
Finna
now
come
we're
back
taking
down.
it back the other way.
Yeah.
Rips the entire top. What's going on?
The fuck?
Yeah, so that's what happened in 2019 at WrestleMania. Yeah.
God, man.
I still have nightmares about the noises.
Yeah.
Also, no clearance signs at all.
Well, you didn't know your clearance anyways.
13.6. I
Which
did.
is
Were your eyes open?
Anyways,
They were open with the
let's
yellow
get to a
shirts.
break. Let's get to a break.
I mean, Nick was sitting. What people also don't know is that
You guys almost died at WrestleMania
Legit.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
real.
Did y'all drive it all the way back?
Yeah, we
Drive it in the rain.
In the rain.
We had to drive it in the. We had to get out of New York City in the rain at 12:30 at night, and we had to drive till we got out of the rainstorm. I mean, it was basically till we got to Pennsylvania. We had to drive through New Jersey.
Walmart.
With bags.
We parked in a Walmart.
Yeah, parked in a Walmart. Slept.
That's why whenever people say, this business hasn't been through enough hard times.
Oh, have you ever died
Someone
in an
said
RV?
that?
You ever died?
Because I have.
You have no idea. This thing's built on marble. Okay, we've been there, done that with way too many things for only being a company that has existed for 8 years.
Yeah.
But a lot of it, some of it has come from our relationship with WWE.
Absolutely.
No doubt about it.
The amount of stuff we've learned from them, the
And
amount
they're
of
so
events
cool.
we've been at, the amount of people we talked to.
So nice.
So I think a lot of the people I know are pumped that you guys are in there.
Well,
But the internet wrestling community is just not
Waste of a pack.
yeah. Well, and
to be clear, if you guys were going to be taking anybody's spots, would not have agreed. But for some reason, they feel as if you guys are taking Cody Rhodes' spot.
Yeah.
You're not.
No.
We're stopping them from finishing the story.
I believe Ricochet's in the game.
He is. It is an extensive roster.
Yeah.
Good news for the
Yeah, but what about
IWC.
the NXT?
Next champions
generation.
that's not in it.
They're in.
That's not our decision.
That's not. I'm not a developer of the game.
If Ty and Connor, the Toxic Table, whose finisher is the T2,
Go to it.
the T2. Everybody that you're mad about not being in, still not in. And that sucks.
Yeah.
We're not happy about it either.
No, it's bullshit.
We want them to be in there.
Yeah.
Bad. And if,
Over our spots.
Yeah.
and if we're not 88 overall, guess what? We're pulling ourselves out of the game anyways.
Protest.
Yeah. If I'm not 6'3", 240 with a 99 high flyer rating, I don't want to.
I'm excited for the highlights to come out because I've seen a lot of the IWC, what they're saying they're going to do to those two. Those two are jobbers in their mind.
Yeah, that's going to be sweet too.
Yeah. When you fight fire with fire, because guess what? I'm going to be holding that fucking title belt up. And so is this guy.
Goddamn right.
We're going to be dripped in gold.
Exactly. We're never going to relinquish it.
Yeah. What are they going to do when the screenshots come out of me and Ty beating Roman and Cody Rhodes as a tag team? What's going to happen then? What are they going to say about us then?
We'll see.
I mean, they're going to have to say this.
They're going to have to acknowledge the Toxic Table.
Yes, they are. Goddamn right.
They have been pretty mean to you guys. Internet wrestling can be pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, understandable, Like, you played in the NFL and wrestled. AJ played in the NFL. Darius played in the NFL. Me and Ty, we, lost in the final of our intramural basketball leagues in college.
Yep.
It's kind of where our...
Yeah, but what the work you guys have put in the ring is going to come on display.
Also,
got the proof of that.
No one has ever put more time and effort into the creation of those characters in any of those games than we did. I can guarantee that.
You guys are more invested than anybody.
For sure. That is a 5-minute, okay, yep, sounds good. We sat with them for an hour and went over every painstaking detail.
I'm 6'3".
Yep.
Exactly.
I'm 240.
Right.
Yeah, but you're right in front of us. You're not that. I don't have my boots on.
Next question.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and the Big Show was billed at 7'5", and I've seen him, sitting at a hotel bar. He ain't 7'5".
Bingo.
Okay?
You're right. He's 7'6". They do
Yeah,
get some things
maybe
wrong.
at that time.
Exactly. Not to mention the names of our moves, the looks, what we do when we're walking out, the things in the stands for our matches. I mean, come on. We're not just schlubs just wanting to be in
You're
the
not
game.
wasting the opportunity.
No, not at all.
Lucky to be there.
Absolutely.
Thankful to be there.
Absolutely.
Universe Ball, the IWC is going to be excited you guys are in it once they see you.
Okay.
Bonus ball.
Yep, come back.
Hold on. Shit.
Damn.
That's a shame. I thought we really had an opportunity there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a bummer.
All right, let's get to a break. We'll be back on the other side for Hour 3. Hour 3 is going to be a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Might even dabble with baseball, depending upon what happened. Baseball is on this morning?
Yeah.
Yep. In Seoul.
Whoa.
Was that you that made the fart sound?
No, wasn't me.
But do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay.
Morning baseball might be. They should maybe do that. Cup of Joe and
Yeah.
baseball. It's a good start to the day.
Yeah.
You just can't hate every sport. Come on.
It's just baseball, actually.
Soccer.
Soccer, you
Hate
hate.
soccer.
I like
too.
soccer. I like
No,
soccer.
you don't.
Soccer and baseball might be coming
playing.
together for something at some point.
Kind of evens out. Oh, yeah, you're right.
But baseball, going to spend a solid week using every member on the roster to beat the absolute dog shit out of Boston Connor.
That's awesome, though. See, respect to that guy.
So that would mean he's going to be AJ and Darius.
Yeah. Well, hey, our we're getting people to play the game.
You're welcome.
Feels like it.
You're welcome. Yeah. All right, let's get to a break. Hour 3 on the other side. We'll have some phone calls about some stuff that we'll call some people about.
Okay.
That's some news to break still that we haven't chatted about, like this deal that Chase Young signed with the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
We got. It's a good metaphor for like what this entire time of year is about with the NFL.
Yes.
Because what we heard is seemingly nothing like what the reality is.
No.
So we're going to talk about that. We also got Caleb Williams about to throw at USC.
Yeah, making throws.
I believe Lewis Riddick is there. We have a chance to potentially call him if he has some time.
Okay.
Should be a great third hour. We can't wait to spend it with you. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change your life. Take 5.
Bye.
Need help filling out your women's tournament challenge bracket? Start by crossing off the 14, 15, and 16 seeds. In tournament history, those teams are a combined 1 and 347 in the first round. 11 seeds are interesting. Over the last 5 tournaments, those teams have 8 wins in the first round, and 3 of those teams advance to the Sweet 16. Speaking of the Sweet 16, in each of the last 2 years, a 9 seed or worse has won a Sweet 16 game. That happened only twice over the previous 22 tournaments. When it comes to the Final Four, you'll want to get the chalk out. 1 seeds have won 31 of 41 national titles, and no team worse than a 3 seed has ever won it all. So, to recap, the numbers 14, 15, and 16 are to be avoided. 11 seeds are your friend, and 1 seeds are your best friends. Got it? Great. Download the ESPN Tournament Challenge app and fill out your women's brackets now.
Hello and welcome to the special investigative report. Much has been made in the media world on the life and charitable donations of the man Pat McAfee, especially lately with the rise of the ever-popular Pat McAfee Show, a show that in his own words, stinks. We thought it privy to dive into the inner workings and machinations of this tiny business, this small regional show that has reached international discourse. We sat down with the suit himself, Bruce Brown, to figure out what, where, when, why, and how they're able to give away so much money to the viewers of this incredible program.
So yeah, when you enter a Pat McAfee Show giveaway or win a FanDuel merch picks contest on Sunday, essentially, the entire hashtag will be downloaded into an Excel file, and the winners will be randomized within that. And then we do a quick scumbag check, basically click on the profile and make sure, you aren't a robot or blocked by Pat. And then it'll be transferred over to Dirty Gertie, who creates the Winner Wednesday graphic, which then runs on the show each Wednesday in a commercial break. If you win over $599, we're going to need your email, or you can email giveaways@patmcafeeshow.com. If it's under $599, all we need is your cash tag. And if you win merch, obviously we need your size, address, and what you want from the store. Usually I'll just reply to you on Twitter. If you have any questions about any giveaway, whether it's cash that you either are waiting on or merch, you can just reach out to me on Twitter or email giveaways@patmcafeeshow.com. Please give us about 1 to 2 weeks to sort out your prize. That's typically how long it takes. But again, if you have any questions, just reach out to us.
We reached out to PMI's money man himself, CFO Phil, for an on-camera interview. Regretfully, he declined the segment, but he did give us the salacious, juicy details. In an email correspondence, CFO Phil replied, $2.6 million year to date. Over $4.5 million has been given away in giveaways. There you have it. Over $4.5 million given away, a pissed off CFO, and a show that quote unquote stinks. Good night, good morrow, good luck, and good fortunes.
Want to fill out your men's tournament challenge bracket like an expert? First off, don't pick massive upsets early. Only 2 16 seeds have ever beaten a 1 seed. If you like upsets, and who doesn't, look to the second round, where an 8 or 9 seed has beaten a 1 seed in 10 of the last 13 tournaments. And while we're talking upsets, you have to love the number 11. At least one 11 seed has reached the Sweet 16 in 10 of the last 13 tournaments. And in fact, 5 times during that stretch, 2 11 seeds got that far. 12 seeds used to be the trendy go-to, but since 2014, only 2 12 seeds have advanced to the Sweet 16. And when picking a champion, prioritize the ones. In 39 of the last 42 tournaments, a 1 seed has made the Final Four, and 12 of the last 16 champions have been 1 seeds. So to recap, if you're going to pick a surprise to win a couple of games, go with 11s, not 12s. Look out for the 8 and 9 seeds in the second round, and a 1 seed is usually a safe bet to win it all. You got it? Great. Download the ESPN Tournament Challenge app and fill out your men's brackets now.
What are you going to do to change and make Tua better? Have you gotten into that? This is very early in the whole process, and you're shaking hands, kissing babies right now, and you're a 0-win head coach that everybody loves.
0 wins.
0 win, but what are you thinking about that for Tua? How do you make him better?
We're going to start with scoring more points than the opponent.
Wow!
Holy shit. Oh, no.
You are changing the game.
Changing the game.
Yeah.
Through math.
Yeah, that's right.
No, I think I was just so fortunate in my career to be around the process of how I look at things with the empowerment of the right teachers that I look backwards, forwards, okay? What things do I see that are really awesome about his game on tape, even though we're at...
He's accurate as heck.
Boom! That's what I was just about to say.
Oh, I didn't know. I was just... you were leading me. That's how you should do this, maybe.
Dude,
think about it in the future. But he's so accurate.
Or we should just spend the time finishing each other's...
sentences.
Oh, okay.
Hey, have we known each other for...
our whole lives?
Oh, my God. You tell...
me?
Wow.
This is
weird.
Dude.
Whoa,
Seems like you guys just became.
Dude.
Wow, this is fucking weird, AJ.
Bro.
Hey, this is...
Did we swap skins?
Wow, we learned a lot about yours, by the way. I mean, everybody's got Bryce Young, Will Levis, and Will Anderson above C.J. Stroud, allegedly.
Lock him in.
We will 1,000,000% continue to drive that narrative.
That is right.
Because with what my eyes seen, AJ, and what you have seen, if C.J. Stroud ends up at the Colts at number 4, I'm happy about the future of the Colts all of a sudden.
Yep.
So this will be the last time we say this. C.J. Stroud is the best quarterback in this draft class.
That's right, for sure.
We are massive fans of them. And whenever we say, whatever we say over the next few months before the draft, we would like it to not be held against us because we know we are a part of the entire system here. And we need C.J. Stroud in Indy.
Have to have him.
Plus, it's really fun to say Stroud.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need him to go Dahn to the 4th pick.
Yeah,
Right.
do you think they have to trade up? Because Texans are right there at 2, and, those are the 2 quarterbacks of the future.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's an opportunity and a chance for us to move, too. We got a lot of pieces to the puzzle that aren't necessarily going to be there in the future, probably. You bundle that with the 4 overall pick, I think you could maybe move up to 1.
Yeah.
And then you get C.J. Stroud.
Jalen Milroe often wears his own branded apparel reading LANK across the front. It's an acronym that stands for Let a Naysayer Know. Being told by his former offensive coordinator, Bill O'Brien.
That is not what I thought.
Is that not what you thought?
Boy, let a naysayer know.
Let a naysayer know.
Of course.
The professional's right in the middle of his lead. That's all right. I just keep going.
You almost lost me. It got real tight up here as you were. I just want to let you know.
Reese, you were too smooth with that. I thought it was going down. I thought it was going down out here.
Oh, sorry about it. Let a naysayer know.
Let a naysayer know.
Naysayer know. That's what we thought the whole time. That's what we all thought.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Sport! Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome. On this Big News Wednesday, March 20th, 2024, Hour 3 of the program starts now. Sports are happening in a big way. As you saw in the zoom in from the outside looking into the stage here in the Thunderdome, we have eyes on Caleb Williams' pro day that is currently taking place in Southern California. Eberflus is there, Poles is there, Keenan Allen, the newest member of the Chicago Bears, is there, obviously former Los Angeles Charger. We assume he has a house in the area. We just watched 4 to 5 straight completions, no balls on the ground. Michael Lombardi set the over-under at 3 for balls on the ground in this entire thing. We assume, as Jerry Rice's kid just walked by the camera, that's a pretty good person maybe be throwing to.
Yep.
We assume this day is only going to up the stock of Caleb Williams, the NFL player, because that's what every pro day has done for the last 5 years straight. Talks Ted was here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the hammer, Dahn. Cowboys Tone Diggs is here. 14-year corner in the NFL. A man who's a universal record signed rapper. Pac-Man Jones is here.
What's up, baby?
We're just watching workouts. And obviously everything's been completed. He's thrown a couple deep balls. They got to zoom in on his feet here, which seem to be technically signed. What are you seeing from Caleb Williams, Pac-Man?
The deep ball look really good. It don't look as tight as it should be on some of the throws, if you ask me.
Yeah, but Peyton Manning threw a lot of wobblers. There hasn't been as, C.J. Stroud, which is what everybody's going to compare this to.
Yeah. Yep, that's who we're looking for here.
Until forever.
Yeah.
Until the next best rookie season of all time by a quarterback. We're going to be comparing everybody to what C.J. Stroud does. And we're not saying these balls have looked bad, but it is just a different ball flight a little bit. It's a little bit of a different ball flight. He seemingly has handled the pressure of the situation better than, somebody who shouldn't be the number 1 overall pick for like the last 3 years is what's been said about Caleb Williams.
Oh, yeah.
It's a big day for him, Connor. What are your thoughts as just basic stooge?
Yeah, pretty awesome. Basic stooge thoughts. I mean, for me as a Patriots fan, because the Patriots
ball on the ground.
That's
not
okay,
good.
that's one. That's one.
That's number 3.
That's third
What?
ball on the ground.
Already?
Wait a minute. Might not be. Oh, well, he's allegedly what people say now about these pro days with quarterbacks is they and the wide receivers have gone through this 4 or 5 times already.
Yeah, that's the thing to look for, right? Some of these wide receivers, since Caleb's just automatic.
What are you saying, Pat?
No, I'm just saying.
Pac, why'd you just turn your head like that?
Well, he didn't want another ball on the ground, so he made sure that was caught.
Threw a duckly up there.
A what?
The first one was a bum. Yeah. Then he I overthrew that one. Then he just underthrew this one.
Is this our first time watching him throw an NFL ball?
Yeah.
It's a lot bigger.
Duke is much bigger than a college
That's
ball.
a dime.
That's a ball.
That was a dot.
Absolute dime. No, Pac-Man?
I'm just saying.
On time.
I mean, you play DB.
I'm just saying it's got a little.
Pac hates quarterbacks, though, because he played DB, yeah.
Just a little float on it. Just a little bit.
A little float on it, you're saying?
Just a little bit.
See, this is how DBs in secondaries actually talk about NFL quarterbacks, though. When they're watching film, hey, we can maybe get one on this guy. There's a little bit of float on the ball, but we are not there. We cannot.
What a spiral. That was magical. Bears got a good one.
Z, things are going good, Bob.
That was a good ball.
Z, I think things are going good.
They showed Dan Quinn earlier. He did have his hat on backwards. For
Yes,
what it's worth.
that's big news.
Because Florida Dan
Yep.
was in Dallas. Now he's taking it to Washington.
Cliff was with him as well.
Okay, this is fascinating. Because who's this guy right here?
Is that Palmer?
No, it doesn't look. That's a little different jawline.
Probably whoever his quarterback
Well,
coach
it's been
is,
a couple
I just
years since we've seen him.
I seen him in the background of.
Aaron's?
Yeah, was it? No, somebody else was working.
Maybe
J.J. McCarthy.
Oh, okay. He was doing.
Oh, a seam ball.
Yep.
That
was a good ball.
I saw him. It was DK Metcalf caught the game winner of a 7-on-7 tournament. And Bryce Young threw him the ball.
Oh yeah, down the left side.
Yeah. DK.
Bryce Young was probably like, man, it'd be nice to have a DK. Trade away DJ last year for him. So that guy in the hat, he's running this thing with the white shirt.
Is it maybe the USC coach?
That's a good ball. Who Lincoln?
No, the OC or quarterbacks coach for USC.
I don't know. That's interesting because does Caleb have a quarterback coach, like his own quarterback guru?
Yeah.
I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, me neither.
Because that's the whole game now. is like the quarterback guru.
The summit.
The quarterback summit is Palmer's.
Oh yeah.
Then there is also
Delfer had one but that was just with Tua.
there's one in Florida too. There's one in Arizona. There's like 4 different places that like train these guys.
Yeah, and who's this guy in the white cap? That's a DN.
Yeah,
My
it's
bad.
DN.
That's good pressure. Get him out of the pocket.
Beautiful ball. Pro days are the best, man. I love this shit so much. There's nothing bad that can happen to Caleb Williams today. So every single pass, touchdown. Unbelievable.
Except for that 3, I guess, that we're on the ground.
totally
What,
incomplete.
we got a little wheel route here? We're on a little wheel? Let's see the placement on this. Is it in front or is it on the back hip? Is this a 3-yard gain or a 15-yard gain?
There's Lincoln next to Poles in the back left there.
All smiles. Oh, baby.
little arrow.
Oh, yeah. That's good. It wasn't a wheel. Good for this guy, though. Good stride, knees.
Angle route.
Knee drive. Yeah, who are all the people?
Throw the comeback opposite hash.
Is this
That guy's got a Broncos polo on.
Running a workout?
Ooh, wow.
Oh, look at him.
That's a touchdown.
Why is he
What?
Yeah,
Why are
I'm
the
with
wide
you, Connor.
receivers like jogging? Why aren't they running full speed?
That's how they run.
portion.
They run casual.
Wouldn't it? That doesn't make any sense.
They have a casual run. What's
don't
that
want the
hat?
balls
Who
on
is
the
that
ground.
guy? Here we go.
What's that hat say on the handsome white there?
Ball.
He's a tall son of a bitch.
He is.
I don't know if having a 6'9" guy next to Caleb
No.
is the right play whenever they were asking about his size.
I agree.
That guy should be taking a knee.
Yeah, he should.
Guy with the power rate should
He
be giving
measured
him
at-
the
Look at the
play.
cameraman. What a weapon right there behind.
He measured at 6'1" today, I think.
6'1"?
6'1's good. Hey, 6'1's just fine.
Yeah. How tall is Stroud?
6'4".
Who?
No.
Stroud.
6'4"?
He about
6'5" with
6'3".
cleats on.
He big boy.
Hey, CJ Stroud is
Oh, I remember him in person. I was 6'4". Man, Caleb's
he's
only
6'3".
6'3", 6'4".
6'3",
Ty
240.
sounded like a hating ass hoe there. Here we go. Put it in front of him. That's not a bad ball. That's not a bad ball there.
I mean,
Put it on him. Put
Why
it
are
on
you
him.
even doing this?
Yeah.
Such a waste of time.
it's not.
No, it's not.
I feel
We're
bad.
watching him go through it. Marvin Harrison Jr. said, I'm not doing anything at
I
the Ohio
know.
State workout today.
He's not
So we
anything
thank
anywhere.
Caleb Williams for at least throwing a
Well,
football here today.
You're right. I agree with that. But, I mean, look. We got Poles and Eberflus playing grab ass back there just laughing.
what is that?
Oh, no.
What is that?
Oh, no.
It's a good ball. You said that was a good ball.
No, I just asked what
Pack.
is that? Is what I asked.
That was late right there, wasn't it?
Maybe.
Wasn't it late? I'm just
What if he
asking.
hasn't gotten a
We
haircut?
should not be judging this.
No, of course.
We should not be judging this the way we are. But every single throw I'm looking at going,
What are we supposed to do?
wait a minute.
I mean, he's minus 3,500 to go 1 overall. So he's going no matter what. Now we just get
Maybe.
to pick apart his,
Now we just pick apart
perfect day.
routes on air.
Yeah.
I'm looking at minus 5,000 right now. We'll see if it
Boom.
changes.
Keep an eye on that guy with the hat under center. Hey!
Oh, who's buddy with great fade behind the
I
center?
don't know, he put somebody in motion, though. I like that.
Oh, man, that was gorgeous.
He found a good passing lane there.
He's just dicking around.
Who's dicking around?
Caleb is. He's just dicking around.
I will
No,
say
he's not dicking around. Wide receivers are dicking around.
He was
they're
warming up
all
lefty,
dicking
by the
around.
way.
He's warming up lefty. Yeah, that might
That's
be a
just
part of his
thing,
warm up.
yeah.
How big are his hands? Did they measure
Huge.
those? Did they measure those with his height?
9 7/8.
Let me look. I think it was. I think it might be right.
That is a very casual get up. Not a lot of swag on Caleb Williams' get fit right now. Just loves ball. That's all.
Just loves ball.
Guy just loves ball.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, we're taking a deep shot.
Here we go.
Ooh!
Great catch.
In a bucket.
That kid's a Patriot.
In a bucket. Casual, too. That was just another Wednesday. That was just another Wednesday for Caleb Williams.
Low ball.
Can we FaceTime Lewis Riddick?
Yeah, 9.75 inches for hands. Big. It's a good hand.
Yeah, he can play in the cold if he has to. Mm-hmm. NFC North going to be playing a little bit of cold football every once in a while.
Yep.
You're telling me.
I like that. I do.
I want that Take Me to the King sweatshirt.
Are they making audibles right now on it? Yeah, I need you to go to the left. You go to the right. You're on a little bit of a slant there. Who's the big tall one?
Who is this guy?
Who's the big tall white?
There's got to be his name somewhere.
How come everybody in the back's having a good time not paying attention to the show right now? Isn't that why we're all here?
That's what I mean.
This isn't a
Paul's
party.
just locked in.
Yeah, Poles is locked.
Play action. Deep.
This is an important one. It's a big one.
Oh boy.
Pack. Don't be looking at me like that.
You think Poles has like the same getup a la
That Dolphins guy's the coolest guy on the field. Anyways, sorry about it.
I only see Poles in the jacket sweatshirt combo. You think he just puts that on every single morning? Like he's just got a bunch of polo.
It's all one piece, actually.
Yeah, it's just one.
awesome.
I haven't seen him. Where is he?
He's back. Once they do this shot, he's to the left.
Yeah, he's
They
wearing
zoom
cool
out a little.
sunglasses.
He's right to the left of that guy.
Who's the dude with the faux hawk running this thing?
Let's go ball.
Like
this is a good ball.
That was a C.
They're not
Poles is right.
Eberflus there in the top left, right?
Yeah.
In the
Yeah, that's over by where Poles is.
I didn't know we were wearing white long sleeve shirts this year.
There he is.
Oh,
Boom.
Poles looks so cool.
Yeah, always
with shades on. Poles looks cool there. That's a good ball, by the way. That was a very good ball right there. Going to be doing a lot of that to Swift.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good ball.
Where the hell?
You're saying who's this guy?
Where are the Patriots coaches?
What's that? The Crafts don't want him at these.
No, believe me, the Crafts, who knows? But AVP and the wide receivers and quarterback coach are there.
Brendan Rice's son is what year?
Going to the draft.
Senior? He's going, though.
What year is he going to get drafted? Or when's he going to I'm sorry, what round is he going to get
I
drafted?
think he's like a second, third rounder.
Yeah, Patriots top of the second round. Seeing that projection, actually.
Okay. Because Quinn Ewers throwing today at
Yeah.
Texas, not draft eligible.
Correct.
No.
He's throwing to AD and Xavier Worthy, who ran a 4.21
You both could
at the
go in
NFL
first.
Combine.
Yeah.
Especially, today, if Xavier Worthy has a day, like, it could really.
Yeah, it could help him.
Oh, deep shot down the middle. That thing's turning like a punt.
That's a good ball.
Good
Great
ball.
catch.
Threw it out of the stadium.
Good ball.
Yeah.
Guy threw it out of the practice field.
Why? How
Oh,
come
was
you
that
That was the last
here?
one.
That was that.
Do we get a round off back handspring? Is he going to punt a ball? Is he going to punt a ball? Set it. Yup. We love it. Show it. Did it turn over? Was it nicer than the throw? Come on, cameraman.
That's it?
Or lady.
Looks like he liked it.
Hey, I like it. Okay. Hey, good workout, Caleb. We're nitpicking on whether or not you put a ball here,
Yep.
Yeah.
right here, in the middle of a workout on a Thursday in the afternoon in Southern California with no pads on and nobody but scouts and media and documentary cameras probably all over the place. Congrats to Caleb seemingly having a day that isn't going to change anybody's thoughts about him being the number one overall pick.
No, no way.
Now he's going to have a bunch of meetings and in-person visits and everything like that. Just gave a shout out to his family. Hey, family, how we doing?
Love you.
Thankful to one of our fans who's listening at Bear Dahn now 77. And I checked this source. Caleb Williams is working with Denny Thompson, who I believe we had on last year because he was training Anthony Richardson.
Oh, so he was the one rushing the pass then, right? Isn't he kind of a shorter?
Yeah, because he wasn't that tall guy.
Yeah, so he might have been the one that was rushing. There's Lincoln Riley. Good dap up.
Uh-oh, didn't shake Flus's hand.
Flus meandered.
Flus in the back.
There's
Oh, there's
Paul.
dap
Okay,
up Pauls.
okay, there we
There
go.
it is.
Good
There
with
we go.
Flus. I mean, that was
There we
good,
go.
clean dap up with him. Hey, what's going on?
What's everybody else?
All right, we're going to try to FaceTime Lewis Riddick, who's boots on the ground for this. What's everybody's thoughts and expectations as we were watching along a couple thousand miles away? Take me to the king, says old buddy with a camera in the back there. Teammates, boys, good work today. Good work today. You guys are moving sleds over there. Good work today, boys.
Crushing.
Everybody dapping them up, by the way. This was the conversation at the Combine. When he talked to equipment managers, when he talked to athletic trainers, and he talked to his teammates, they liked him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
You
that,
can tell.
Yeah, that means a lot more. Like
That
there's
means a lot more.
there's offensive line. Look at
Right there.
Yep.
Love that. This guy's being drafted.
Yeah, we like that.
Who cares about the throws?
We enjoy that.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a big deal
go.
right there. That's his offensive line.
Yep.
And we got a dance.
Oh, yeah.
That was sweet.
All right.
Clowning around.
This is the biggest part of this entire thing.
That matters right there. That matters. Not just
They all
one
went to his
teammate,
birthday
not
party.
just two teammates. Damn near the whole team.
Well, in different position groups, too.
Yeah.
I think I saw him with the D line there a little bit, offensive line a little bit, wide receivers obviously coming through.
That's a big son of a bitch right there.
I don't know what department that is. We didn't tell Lewis we were calling him. He's in the middle of watching, like, hey, you know what I liked most? He's probably going to say, anybody that's been around the game is going to say something that we just said in real time. The big takeaway is going to be afterwards, he wrestled with an offensive lineman. He dapped up the equipment managers. He talked to everybody. That's everything that has been said about him in the last few weeks, seemingly. Because for a long time, we didn't hear from Caleb. We only heard from Caleb's team. And now we don't even know exactly who's on his team that could potentially be saying things. And a lot of people had negative feelings about Caleb because of what a team was saying instead of what we're hearing from Caleb. Everything I'm seeing from Caleb is teammates like him.
Yeah, off the field stuff is awesome today.
What was that?
What about the combine?
I mean, honestly, the combine stuff too. The biggest thing was the bowl game like hearing them say stuff on the sideline then was weird.
What's that?
Like, we finally got a team now. Let's go. Like, that stuff was weird to me.
What are you talking about?
During the USC bowl game, that was some of the mics picked up these guys after they scored, all pumped up. Because remember, their quarterback threw for like 5 touchdowns, whatever his name was.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying. That's what you asked what I was talking about. I'm telling you what I was talking about.
Anyways, congrats to Caleb getting through his pro day. Check it off the box. Check the box in this draft process. Got to go to combine, get tested. Got to do your pro day. You did it. Now is probably
visits
to 2-3 teams. You were picked 6?
Yeah.
How many visits did you take?
I think I took 3 visits. I went to Washington. I didn't go to Tennessee. I went to Miami and Tampa Bay.
What numbers were they drafting?
Tampa Bay was 2. Dolphins was 3, I think, 3 or 4.
They were all top picks.
Yeah, they was all in the top 5.
This is like Andrew. When Andrew came and visited the Colts in the pre-draft visit or whatever, he had to go to Washington next. And as soon as we heard that, he came into the athletic training room. He was just giving a tour or whatever. And I had heard that he had to go to Washington. So obviously make a big announcement like, safe travels over to Washington, Andrew. We're not sure we're taking you. So never know. It's going to just like basically mocking the whole process.
Yeah.
And he's good human. So I think he probably felt obligated to go do it. But there's some guys, like I'll be excited to hear who he chooses to take a visit to.
Yeah.
You know, because if it's Bears, they probably have already talked to him numerous times. Probably go and take a visit. Is it just all done now? Like, are we locking in 100% to Caleb's going to Chicago?
Yeah. 100%. With the Fields thing,
Yeah.
Fields, like, no matter what, like, they don't have a quarterback.
Minus 5,000? Okay, so congrats to Caleb.
Yeah.
Have one last workout with the boys.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what today was.
Yep.
One last workout with the boys. Now you keep it moving. Marvin Harrison Jr. did nothing today at Ohio State.
Not one thing.
Nor at the combine.
Nothing at the combine.
Did he get measured?
I don't think so.
Jeez.
I could be wrong.
I think they were like
Let me check.
asking Ohio State trainers, like, did you at a physical? Did you guys? How tall was he?
Yeah.
And the athletic trainer's like, I was told
I don't know.
you
not
find that
saying
information
anything.
yourself. Find that information out yourself. Obviously, Marvin Harrison Jr. is a prolific wide receiver at Ohio State.
Yeah.
Stud, award-winning. Everything that they talked about, he seemingly was. Hey, we need you to get extra workout in. We need you to go ahead and hit the jugs. He was on the jugs literally before the day started and on the jugs at night when the day ended. Oh, is that during season? No, that's all year round. Bobby Carpenter, the general, who boots on the ground in Columbus, goes to practice, works out with the team year round, still as a 40-year-old.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, we're all very baffled by it. How is his body able to hold up? Well, I think shout out to Affinity, but also how is his brain able to continually mentally tough himself through a college football team's workout, which are miserable and nightmares.
Yes.
But he has good inside information because he's literally in the building working out with these people. Marvin Harrison Jr.'s work ethic is like everything you dream of out of a superstar. He obviously gets it from his father. He did measure at the combine, Marvin Harrison, 6'3" and 2/8", 209. Hand 9.5, wingspan 77.25, arm 31. Whatever the hell this means, I have no idea. I know that he's going to be a good football player.
Yep.
Being 6'3", okay, bigger than normal. 209 pounds, not frail. Got it. Wingspan, huge. Big catch radius. We saw it in the college ball. Hands 9.5, okay, can catch a football with gloves. Got it. That's all we need to know. But I do wonder why they're not having him work out. Is it because, hey, just watch the tape, watch the film? A lot of people saying maybe he'll run a slow 40, and that'll kind of knock him a little bit. That's what people were saying?
Yes, on the X, yeah. That was the assumption, like, hey, Marvin's not doing anything because he doesn't want people to know that he runs a 4.6.
And maybe his dad's like, we're not doing any track training.
Sure.
We're not wasting time for you to learn how to do a 40, for you how to learn how to do any of this stuff. If they don't believe you're a football player at this point, they don't deserve to have you. If they want to know what you run from in a straight line with no jam coverage, nobody in your way, nothing like that, they're dumb. If that is the thought process, I respect it, I understand it, but also I think it does lead to a lot of chatter about Marvin Harrison here before the draft by not just us, but like internet, teams, fan bases.
Oh, yeah.
Because what you just saw with Caleb, did you hear Zito back there? He goes, oh, yeah. Because that's not just USC fans watching that workout being – that's Bears fans watching that going, yup, trying to find a little bit of hope. Yeah. So Marvin Harrison, we did miss out on him having NFL teams who are all in the top 10 being like, oh, this guy's going to be awesome as a member of the
Arizona Cardinals.
This guy's going to be awesome as a member of the
Los Angeles Chargers.
This guy's going to be awesome as a member of the Indianapolis Colts. We're going to trade up and we're going to get Marvin Harrison Jr. But all that is all we missed. He's been in an NFL camp basically his whole life.
Yeah.
And that is probably where the mindset is. But I'm bummed we didn't get to see a Marvin Harrison display today in Ohio State.
And I wanted to make sure that I looked it up because this article says he has been transparent that he hasn't been training for the workout drills. He's been training for the NFL. Like he's been training to do.
Yeah, so I assume that's his dad being like, we're not wasting time doing this track meet start. Or 3 cones. Okay, we're running routes.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to go run routes full speed. And I appreciate that. I think that is hilarious. But once again, bummed out that we don't get to see the highlights on this particular Big News Wednesday, March 20th.
Yeah, especially just because it's stuff to talk about and it's Marvin Harrison Jr. But it's not as if the Cardinals, when they're making their draft decision, are going to say like, Malik Neighbors, he did do his pro day and Marvin Harrison didn't. So I feel like that kind of sets it, right, guys?
It shouldn't be.
Well, Marvin Harrison already done separated himself from the body of work that he already done.
You got idiot. I'm not going to say idiots because Neighbors is a hell of a player as well. And these young wide receivers are better than they've ever been coming into the NFL. 7-on-7s, 1-on-1s, and everything like that. But I just understood that this guy was the guy.
Yeah.
Like forever. Going through last year, going through the entire process.
Like Stroud's pro day.
Yeah, this is Marvin Harrison. Yeah, exactly. He was like a Ferrari that you can't buy behind it. Like, this is the guy. Over the last week or so, there's been some people that say, there's some teams that fancy Neighbors more than Marvin Harrison Jr. There's some teams that even see Rome Odunze maybe over the last couple meetings. So this is the draft process. This is people potentially selling themselves on a player that they're not going to be able to get for a player that they're going to be able to get, whatever, in the entirety of it. But some teams are going to give Marvin Harrison Jr. and he's going to be a 10-year.
These agents are smart.
Yes.
We know that. So
not all of them.
But I'm just saying, like, he got a good agent. Like, guys know where they're going before the draft come out. Like, it's been conversations that's already been had at the combine to get up to April 24th. What is it? 24th or 27th?
It happened 2 years ago, Jalen Carter, when Drew Rosenhaus said he's not visiting anybody outside the 10th pick. And at that point, there had been a lot of drama during the combine, obviously with the very serious situation that happened back in Athens whenever he was still in school celebrating a national championship. That was all being talked about. Is this guy's work ethic? Is this a guy you want on your team? Started coming out. It all started getting really loud in a negative fashion for this Jalen Carter guy. And then people are finding film of him giving up on plays at Georgia. It's like everything was coming out. Pro day was terrible.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's going through a lot at the time. But a lot of media, ourselves included, we're like, man, there has to be more to this. And then it comes out, well, he's not going to meet with anybody. It's like, that's more bad PR for this guy. What are they even thinking about? And Rosenhaus comes on and goes, you think I don't know where he's getting drafted? I'm not sending my client around from team to team so he has to relive the worst day of his life. We don't need that mentally. We don't need that physically. And you think I don't know? You think I'm going to set my client up to lose out on an opportunity? I would never. You don't think. And then 10th pick. Got drafted.
On the money.
That is where. That's exactly where he got drafted. It's like not every agent, but those at the top of this entire thing are seemingly pretty plugged with certain groups.
Yeah, and the other reason we view the draft the way we view it is the best receiver last year was a 4th-round pick out of BYU, Puka Nacua. Like no one was watching the BYU pro day like that. That's exactly why most of this shit doesn't even matter.
Okay, we're getting video of Caleb Williams' punt. Okay, we have a side shot here. Is that the 50? What is that? 50, 40? Pretty good drop actually. Good follow through. He was at like the 15 there. It appeared. Not a bad hang time. I mean, certainly would be able to get there if he had to do a quick kick. We're looking for that ball to roll forward as opposed to sideways, but he can work on all those things. I like the fact that he added the punt into his workout after dropping a dime, throwing a guy off a practice field. Hey, you know what? Let me see one. Let me get one. Let me off script here. Let me get one. Quarterback coach, what's this guy doing? Oh, of course, he's punting the ball.
Horsing around.
Of course, he's punting the ball.
Having a little fun.
Yeah,
like Mac Jones when they
time.
ran the little, fumble Rooski and he caught the touchdown. That his stock went through the roof after.
Oh, yeah, he jumped up and caught it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then went over to Bill. He was like, just like Navy.
See? He had the Navy mask on against Buffalo. Here's the go route. Where's he at, the 20-ish? 10? That's down at what, the 20-ish?
That's a good deep ball right there.
It's like 60 yards there.
Touchdown.
And what does every athlete want to do? They want to pump footballs.
Duh. Boom. That was a good drop.
Good drop. He wanted that to turn over. So that ball didn't turn over. I think he could actually punt. I think he can turn.
And you can see he done did it before, though.
Yeah, the way he dropped that, he wanted that. You need to point that a little bit, Caleb. See, you had your little flexion here. You need to point that a little bit more. Feels like he's probably a really good punter if he wanted to be. Obviously, he's capable.
Yeah, maybe they draft him to punt.
Yeah, he needs to point his toe a little bit more. That was a good drop, flat drop. I like what he did there. Let's cover some news that took place around the NFL. Chase Young's deal with the Saints, well, we were initially told might not be accurate. Might not be accurate. 1 year, $13 million, fully guaranteed deal with the New Orleans Saints. Holy hell, congrats, Chase Young.
Good work.
Literally said, holy hell, congrats, Chase Young, on being able to pull that off. Now it's kind of coming out a little bit more. So the base salary is $2.7 million, signing bonus $1.86 million. So you do the math there. What is it? 4.56 right there. Workout bonus 4.5. So that takes you up over $5 million. Then you got per game roster bonuses at $7.99 million. And all of us who have ever been in the NFL and have friends in the NFL, as soon as we see the per game roster bonuses, we go, whoa. Those are bonuses. Those aren't guaranteed deals. Then we learned that he's getting a neck surgery. Chase Young is actually getting a neck surgery. So he signs his deal, has the comfort of a home and a team, and about $5 million. Then he is also added on there $7.99 million in incentives for him to chase on his way back with the New Orleans Saints. Feels like this is a very good deal for Chase Young to get going into neck surgery.
Yeah.
But also shout out to the Saints giving him this deal, being like, yeah, we'll bet on you being able to bounce back even more. Not sure how many people have gotten neck surgeries and come back and played, but we do have one person that has done that and came back and played football. Pac, you had a neck surgery, right? What was it on?
I had C3, C4.
C3, C4.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's the same surgery that...
Peyton Manning.
Okay.
And our boy Slayton had.
Okay, Steve Slayton.
Steve Slayton.
So you and Peyton were able to come back and play.
Yep.
Steve Slayton able to come back?
Nah.
At the running back position, too, that's probably not the easiest.
It's not.
Chase Young, defensive line, do you think there's a little bit more clanging and banging for his particular gig? But there have been people that have returned to playing after the surgery.
Oh, yeah. The surgery is, I ain't going to say it ain't bad, but I had to have it twice because you got to wait for your bone to fuse. And sometimes it fused. Sometimes you had to take it out. I took my second time I had surgery, I took it out my hip. But the first time I took it out the bone bank, it didn't even fuse. So I had to have another surgery. But I'm eager that he can play this year, but I don't think he'll be ready by September 9th.
You're thinking like this November, December type situation, which is why the per game bonuses would make sense for the Saints side of this entire thing. But what we were told versus what it is a little bit different seemingly, and now he's getting neck surgery. I wonder if Saints fans are like,
the hell's going on?
What the hell just happened real quick?
So allegedly last year was the Browns game where he got like a really bad stinger, and then that had led to the issues with the neck. But it was, known by every team, including the Saints, that he visited that, like, hey, the scans and the physical obviously aren't good, not the best. But I think it's $470,000 per game, so he could still, even if he misses those first couple, he could still probably, bring home 6.5 of that, roster bonus guarantee.
Some background on Saints defensive end Chase Young's deal via Albert Breer here. Scans on his neck made it tough to find a suitor. No one would clear him on his physical. The condition was initially found after he had a stinger last year versus the Browns in preseason. He'll have neck surgery tomorrow. The idea in doing the 1 year deal with the Saints with $5 million guaranteed and we were lied to immediately.
Yep.
$7.99 million in per game rosters was to allow for Young to get locked in with the team, go through 3 to 5 month rehab from surgery, and have a chance to make the money back. And with the per game rosters, really, this protects the team and the player. It's 100% based on ability to get cleared to play. The neck condition was a factor, too, in his trade market back in October. The Bears weren't comfortable with the scans. The Niners were. He would go on to play for the Niners.
Yep.
He didn't have, I guess, as many stats as everybody would have wanted. Didn't click as fast as everybody wanted. But I would assume Niners fans would be like thankful that he was there disrupting the game for them. Yeah. He now finds a new home, and they're paying him $5 million.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
It's a great deal, especially for the
Especially
Saints.
if it doesn't fuse.
Yeah.
Right.
If it doesn't fuse, you got to get another surgery. They're saying 3 to 5 months, but that could be extended if it doesn't work, right?
Yeah, it can be extended. It could be extended.
And he's getting $5 million regardless.
Yeah,
Right.
Team in cap hell, like you're getting a pretty damn good player for what they're paying him.
And he's never played there before.
No.
So we are obviously all on the side of let's have good surgery, let's bounce back.
Let's go.
Absolutely.
But the reality of the scene is, like, sometimes things don't work. Pac had his not necessarily catch the first time, and who knows. I know there was a time, I think, where Peyton couldn't feel his hands.
Nerves or whatever.
Yeah, something happened with his nerves, gaining it all back or whatever. So, I mean, who knows how it goes. 3 to 5 months, 2 month window there is pretty big.
Yeah.
This could go 3, this could go 5. I think that could also go
Yeah,
a little bit long.
Five's
Here.
What's that?
5's August. 5 is training camp, pretty much.
Yeah, so then all of a sudden you're We're seeing it. Good luck down there. Good deal, though. Feels like it's a good deal.
Hey, don't rush it though. Whatever you do, brother, don't rush it. Like,
especially at the
because it can get way worse. Like, make sure you're healthy instead of trying to go and get a buck. Make sure your body right. Make sure your bone is fused, I should say.
Especially your neck.
Yeah, man.
Well, especially with the per game bonuses, like is making it back for the opener and then missing 10 on the back end.
Yeah, right.
Worse than missing 3 in the front and playing all 14 at the
Or
end.
missing everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Who knows what he's getting it on too? I wonder.
Yeah,
what
we don't know
is
the exact
specific.
neck procedure.
If you have a neck surgery, it's got to be C1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the only thing in your neck. Go down to 6 or 6, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Nailed it.
There's C2, 3, 4, 5.
I got 3 and 4 together.
That's right there in the middle.
Yeah.
Is there what they do? They go in through the back?
Through the front.
Ugh. Jesus.
How long? How long was the surgery?
That's a good question. I don't even remember.
You were out though.
I was out.
That
So
whole-
you got to stay in the hospital for like 3-4 days with that. It's not just like you have surgery and you can just walk and go home.
It's your neck.
Neck surgery.
That's why I forget who it was.
All right.
There was some NFL GM that said like minor neck surgery, and I remember I was on a team with somebody who either had a friend or I forget. They had somebody very close to them who had a neck surgery that went wrong or something, They're like, minor neck surgery. Okay, yeah. What are we doing? Oh, the spine?
Yeah.
Just your whole body, seemingly.
Just normal run-of-the-mill heart surgery.
Stuff's going right.
Yeah,
exactly.
no big deal.
He had minor neck surgery. It was like minor spine surgery. Yeah. Hey, just had a little minor brain operation.
Yeah, not a big deal. Do it all the time.
It's like, hey, there's some things that are a little bit more important than the others. Happy you got back. 2 neck surgeries.
Yeah.
Now he's rapping.
No big
right.
deal.
Let's go back.
SOB.
SOB.
Stand on business.
Stand on business.
It is catchy.
Oh yeah.
You got to feel good about that. How it is catchy.
Yeah.
You got a remix coming out soon, you said?
Stand on Christmas.
No.
Whoa. Dump that. Dump that.
Somebody's going to steal that.
Yeah, dump that.
Started a show with that.
Yeah.
As soon as I said a bad idea, don't let anybody else get
Yeah,
this.
Mariah Carey heard that.
Yeah, bingo. She's going to
Done.
corner the whole market.
She's like, all right,
She's
there.
already got it, and she's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I got the next 20 years here."
Yep.
Standing on Christmas. SOC. That Nick Cannon drops in.
Eminem.
I don't know if Eminem and Mariah doing anything.
Oh, they used to. Right?
Yeah.
Well, I heard one time. I don't know.
Because Mariah
I don't know enough about the drama world.
canon now.
What is the rap world right now? Who's all the OGs still running it?
Lil Mabu.
Yeah, Lil Xan.
Lil Mabu's still doing his stuff?
If what Mitt is telling me, yeah, Lil Mabu runs the game.
So I think Mitt sees a lot of himself in Lil Mabu.
I think so.
I could see that.
I think that's why
I
he's
see a
such
lot of Mitt.
a Mabu fan. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But who is? I see DJ Khaled says he's got 2 Drake songs locked. That has been on every post that he's made on Instagram for the last 2 months.
Yep.
Yeah.
He actually walked out with Drake with a sign that said, 2 Drakes on my next album soon come, which I'm a big fan of. DJ Khaled, anything you do, I'm going to listen to forever. Bud. Just know that you got one person
He's got it.
in Indiana that is going to press play on all your shit,
Yep.
regardless of what it is. So congrats to that. But is it all the OG still? Who is it?
It's a lot of younger guys too. A lot of young kids. Of course, y'all know everybody, baby, but it's a lot of young artists. You know what I mean? That 19, 20 that is on fire right now.
Really? Music industry doing well right now.
Yeah.
Social
I would say the
media
biggest
helping?
right now is probably NBA
Youngboy.
NBA Youngboy.
Okay, huge.
Like, huge.
Because social media, I assume, helps all
Yeah.
these guys.
Yeah, Blueface. Lil Durk just came out with Chet Holmgren and SGA in Oklahoma, which is pretty sick.
That is sweet.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like that move of rappers walking out with like the people of the city. Like whether
I don't keep up with the young rap game enough. I do apologize for that. But I know they're doing it. I know they're doing it. All right, let's get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
Oh, no, we got to cover something.
Oh.
Zion Williamson, real deal.
Oh,
Hey,
Yeah.
back. He's back.
Yeah, he's back.
Oh boy.
Let's go.
How awesome is this?
Yeah, he's
Incredible.
Legit.
Great for the league.
This is years in the making.
Redemption
This
story.
is great for our lives as well. As soon as I saw Zion on Instagram as a 14-year-old taking off and dunking on everybody in that South Carolina region, and then him doing like real dunks and still remaining like a beast of a dude. I was like, oh, this is the one. This is the one. Now we're seeing the adult version of the viral teenager. He is at his perfect form. They said he lost 25 pounds over the last few months. His team had to have some conversations with him around him about how much they enjoy him as a human. Everybody loves the guy, I think, in his personality and who he is as a human. He's been famous since a teenager. He's remained humble, I believe. He's gotten himself into some shit because he's got some, what's going on over there? Maybe I'd like to try some of that.
Yeah.
A lot of that going on. But they said he's dialed in right now. It's fucking awesome.
Incredible.
Nobody else is able to do. Now, I know that Ant-Man just took off from whatever.
Yeah.
Him in the sky is a little bit different than Zion in the sky. Two different style of dunkers. And when Ja Morant is healthy, we got a whole nother high flyer, Electric Factory, who I believe played basketball with Zion growing up. This is great for the NBA. You got Wemby figuring out basketball, right? In the NBA.
Oh, yeah.
He'll have a new team around him. Hopefully, they'll become better.
For sure.
Zion is becoming a superstar. You got Ant being called the next face of the NBA. You got Kyrie Irving back playing his best basketball. Luka and Joker are still at the top of their game, so overseas it's still crushing. And Keisei Tominaga is coming into the draft.
Come on.
Steph Curry's still shooting the lights out, I assume. LeBron James is somehow still playing. Now he's doing podcasting. It's like the NBA is in a good spot right now.
Yeah.
Good for them.
And Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are still going. I mean, Giannis and Lillard have been like the only. I mean, that's the thing.
To make sure he
It's
gets
the
to
best
Tatum
team in the fucking league, and they don't get talked about. But that's fine. It's beside the point. Like Giannis, Lillard, like the league is so young. Like the worry in the NFL, I feel like at least 5 years ago was like Big Ben, Brady, Rodgers. I mean, I'll throw Rivers in there, but all those old guys, Drees, all those guys leaving, and then you got this fresh crop. Like in the NBA, the worry with LeBron and Durant and them being done, it's like, hey, it doesn't matter because now there are all these guys that are so ridiculous. And to your point about Wemby, like there is a massive chance Wemby is better than everybody in like 2 years. So like the face of the league talk with Ant Edwards and like me saying Tatum, it's like it might be Wemby very, very soon.
He's just swatting folks.
Yeah.
And he's driving so down the court.
Guys, fucking 7'6".
He's not even jumping.
He don't even have to jump to dunk the ball.
He's just running. He just has to run near the hoop and then just lifts his hand. We were talking about those mini hoops back in the day.
Yeah.
In
That's his
mini-
life.
That is basketball for him.
Yeah.
And he's a kid. Like he's 20, 19
But remember,
years old.
he's a deep thinker too. He's,
Yeah.
He's, like he's made for the moment.
He could probably sit with the medicine.
I don't think he needs to sit.
No,
I
I'm
think he
saying he
already
needs to.
has.
He might have.
His middle name's ayahuasca because he comes with that wisdom.
Bingo.
We.
They were talking about the French team starting Wemby at small forward, Embiid at power forward, and Rudy Gobert at center for their national team. But Embiid declared for Team USA.
Yes. Fuck it. I want to win a gold medal.
Hell yeah, Embiid.
Yeah.
We appreciate that. USA, USA, USA. We love that.
Yeah, good move.
Speaking of France, there's an American football professional league in France, and the Paris Musketeers had a visitor in Tyreek Hill, and Tyreek Hill did some one-on-ones against their DBs over there, and it's safe to say we're better than the French at football.
Gotcha.
I mean, it's, the people signing up for this are like, what? All right.
Yeah,
And, all right. I would love to hear 38's thoughts. Like, what the fuck is this?
Who the fuck is this guy?
Glad I play in France.
He's open.
Don't even throw the ball.
Yeah, I mean,
Is this guy coachable? Could Pat coach this guy?
He's gonna have to get his hands on it.
He's got to get a new number too.
Corner's one of those positions that you got to have certain traits.
That's not this summer that we have flag football, right?
No.
Okay.
Oh man, I wish.
Oh my God. I appreciate Tyreek giving back to the game over there.
Yeah.
And I like that this guy got a chance to witness what it is. Hey, this is what it is.
Yeah, this is the NFL, baby.
This is the highest level. This is the best, most explosive human that has ever played in the NFL.
Yeah.
How about him on those kickoff returns?
It's a little different.
Yeah.
It's a lot different.
So you wonder if
How about him on those hybrid, that new kickoff?
What?
Xavier Worthy.
So let's say you have a kicker. I mean, this is just the beginning of these conversations. Kicker kicking into wind, end of season. Probably going to land somewhere between 10 and 20, if not beforehand. and this is a new kickoff rule that's being pitched this weekend at the owners' meetings. Every special teams coordinator is on board with it. That has never happened in the history of the NFL. That every special teams coordinator has ever agreed to something. They agreed to it because they were worried like hell that the kickoff was going to get eliminated from the game. Now they're all going to try to game it and figure out how you go about doing this. The ball has to get kicked into that landing zone, which is from the 0 to the 20 there. End of season. Into wind. That ball's coming down in between the 15 and the 20 probably, or the 10 and the 20. You put Tyreek Hill back on the goal line, and then all of a sudden he's shot out of a cannon. Well, nobody's allowed to move up here at the neutral zone until the ball is caught. So he's full speed at the 20 while you're standing still at the 40 trying to cover that. That's a weapon.
That's a weapon.
That's a real problem. He would have gone on, and Pack, you're one of the greats. Obviously, Devin Hester, Hall of Fame returner. Josh Cribbs, one of the great. If Antonio Brown was a phenomenal punt returner.
Dante.
Yes.
Phenomenal punt returner. Bingo.
Dante Hall.
But if Dante Hall, let's go, cuz. But if Tyreek Hill was to do punt return full time, he would go down as the greatest punt returner in the history of football.
Yeah, didn't Leckler tell you that?
Same with Antonio Brown, too. I think those two probably in the same conversation piece. Like if they did it full time, their touchdowns would inevitably end up going through the roof. But yeah, Shane Leckler was already in the Hall of Fame at his career whenever he was at Houston, had already been established, had played against everybody. Literally came up to me before our first game of the season and you guys got Kansas City Chiefs this year, right? Yep. Played them yet? Nope. Have you watched film of them yet? Nope. He goes, the returner they got, he's a different fucking being. He said, you take the snap, you turn directly to your right, and you punt that ball into the stands. You do not let the ball get anywhere near that guy. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. He said, yeah, me neither. This motherfucker's you're not able to describe him. He said, I hit the ball to the numbers. I felt good about it. I was watching it. I was jogging it. Before I had my head down to see what was happening, he was already on the other hash. Wall had already been set up, and he was sprinting by me. And it was like, what the fuck is that thing? What type of engine does this have? He is the quickest, fastest, most explosive person that has ever been on a football field. And then time would tell us that was an accurate depiction of who Tyreek Hill is. So if they're going to use him in this,
oh my God,
they're going to use him in that.
They should.
For sure.
For sure they will.
Don't you think he would have
he's gonna get a couple touches.
Traveled with his pads though, if he was planning on being in that? I didn't see a helmet or shoulder pads in France, and all great players travel with their helmet and shoulder pads.
You're talking about Russell Wilson in Monaco.
Yep. I've seen Tom Brady doing it too.
That was in Montana.
He traveled with him.
Montana's the United States of America. He lives there during the offseason.
Yeah.
Does he keep those pads at his house in Montana, or did he travel with them from his team?
I assume some equipment managers probably ship some pads to Montana for him.
Every car he has a set in it.
This kind of takes us back to the Dynasty.
It does.
That docuseries. Mm-hmm. Ty, should I watch that or no?
I would, just because, again, it's if you love football and, like, you lived through that era, like, it's sweet seeing some of the stuff. And some of the interviews, like I said, like, are really cool, and some of like the home footage they have of like Brady when he was much younger, stuff from inside the locker room with Belichick talking, like, is really sweet. But I said it like early on, I thought it was kind of like whatever, but to Connor's point, like, to wrap it up for them to like really hammer home that like basically Belichick's the reason the dynasty ended, and like it was all Tom, none of it was Bill, like. It was really weird the way they decided.
The creative direction.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And also, I think I mentioned it yesterday, like, Belichick was kind enough to agree to sit down with this guy, which I'm kind of surprised he did. But then all the questions they asked were like gotcha questions where if you know Belichick, you know, like, he's not going to answer that. He's not going to give you any of this shit. So it even more so reinforces, like, because he's not answering or he's not even entertaining what this guy's saying, then, you know, I'm sure a lot of people draw the conclusion like, oh, well, like, he is a piece of shit. Like, that there is a reason why he's not being forthright and forthcoming with his answers in these questions. It was just, I thought Connor was kind of just being sour grapes, being a fan. And I understand, like, they didn't cover the Super Bowls that in depth, but I didn't think it was super, super slanted towards Bill until the final two episodes, and I was like, oh yeah, this essentially was just like a Belichick hit piece.
All right, I'm going to check it out.
You should.
Yeah.
I'm going to check it out.
And the episodes are only like 35 to 45 minutes, so.
Hey, listen, if you want to check that out, but you maybe want to go check out a live show,
Sure.
there's only one place to go.
Yeah.
And that's our friends That's SeatGeek.
Hell yeah.
It is.
Love you, SeatGeek.
Now the football season is over. SeatGeek is extending their $30 off promo.
Wow.
To all events.
Really?
Love that. It's awesome.
NBA, NHL, concerts, comedy, ballet, whatever.
Sure.
If there's a live event that they're selling tickets to, you can get $30 off.
That's awesome.
Doesn't matter if you're a repeat customer or not.
Perfect.
Ooh,
It can be your 10th time buying tickets from SeatGeek, the greatest ticket buying platform on planet Earth, and
The moon.
All you got to do is enter code PAT30. That's PAT30. Restrictions do apply. I assume if your ticket is cheaper than $30. I assume that's the restrictions, although I didn't get small print here.
Okay.
I'm assuming that is the case.
assumption.
But if you want to get some tickets, not a bad gift, for somebody.
Great
not a
one.
bad date. Let's go do something.
Weather getting nicer, outdoor venues.
Baseball, maybe. Go to a baseball game.
Bunch of March Madness games over the next 4 to however many days.
Amphitheaters are about to get filled up.
Yep.
Country music's about to really start going around.
Pumped.
If SeatGeek has a ticket, you can get $30 off for it at PAT30 at the SeatGeek app. All right, shout out to SeatGeek. We appreciate the hell out of you.
SeatGeek.
All right. I think we did it today.
Hell yeah.
We got a box of Gary Vemons right over there.
Can't wait.
I know.
The box has been beat to shit.
Yeah. It's because there's so many freaking great cards in there. They're trying to get out.
This thing arrived yesterday during show because they put out a tweet that the largest box from V-Friends Gary Vemons is being sent to our office and should be arriving at any time. Yesterday it arrived looking like that, standing at about 3 feet tall, weighing in at 95 pounds.
What?
At least.
That box has a lot of sauce.
Yeah.
The tape has sauce on it. There's a lot of V-Friends stickers on top of it.
So many stickers.
So we're going to dive into that at some point. We will celebrate whatever we end up getting. I saw something last night. It was worth $4,000.
What?
Yeah.
The subliminal slime.
Guess what it was this morning?
What was it?
3,300.
Well, that's because the person who bought it decided to lower the price because they're good people.
Oh yeah, I know.
Bent the corners of it. It's not mint anymore.
Yeah, bingo. It's like car driving
There
off
could
the
be
lot.
$6 million.
What's the one called? It's not called a subliminal slime. This one's the tremendous tiger.
Need
It was
that.
a stoic slime.
Stoic slime.
There he is.
Not very stoic.
Sweet.
There he
What?
is.
Very stoic.
I mean, it's smiling, but yeah.
Yeah, normally stoic.
No, it has no feelings.
It looks
Yeah, so
happy
wouldn't
to
that
me.
be?
No, that's just its mouth sitting open because it's got kind of a lazier jaw.
But then how come the corner of the lips are up like a smile?
Because that's how, like the Joker, that's just how the face is.
Yeah, well, you see the eyebrows. The eyebrows also slanted. They're not just flat like a stoic face.
That's how the face was made. I mean, the eyebrows,
Gunter.
that's how the...
Gunter, the ring general, is a stoic man. He never has those emotions on his face.
I don't think that's German. What you just said.
General?
I think it's a ring general.
See, I'm trying to do my best Adam Pierce impression. I just don't have it.
How about him? Adam Pierce delivered it.
He's great.
He's 2 for 2 on contract signings.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Nailed it.
Adam Pierce, general manager of Monday Night Raw, is 2 for 2 on contract signings, not becoming full-on, washes with fights.
Yeah.
He's gotten contracts signed 2 times in a row on TV.
Huge.
Big deal.
Settled down Nia Jax a few weeks ago.
I know.
Not easy.
I know.
People thought it was impossible.
Nia, he said,
Yep.
general manager.
Oh, yeah.
That's middle management. You're not supposed to be able to operate successfully. You're a dummy normally.
Yeah.
Not Adam Pierce. Shout out to you, Adam Pierce.
Boy, Adam.
Way to go, Adam.
Keep it going, Pierce.
He's a big Packers fan.
Is he?
Big Packers fan.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, he's a big Packers fan, good general manager. He is a terrible punter. He punted the ball at his house a couple weeks ago, ended up in the top of a tree. Now, with that being said, the tree was about 6 stories high, so he got the ball up there.
Okay.
Just needs a little bit more control, like he has at Monday Night Raw.
Bingo.
Unlike that bum Aldis over there at SmackDown.
Yeah.
That guy's got no clue.
None.
He stinks.
What a bum.
Loser.
Middle management bum.
Yep.
He is a bum.
Just through and through. Bum.
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 And that's only because we feel there's a little bit of tension between Pierce and Aldis. And we would like to let everybody know our allegiances are with the bald one, Adam Pierce.
That's right. Amen.
Let's get to a break for about 21 hours. How about it?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Tomorrow, big day.
Yeah.
March Madness, baby.
Madness is here.
We made it.
Yes, we did.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar We'll be right over there from the Indiana State Sycamores, who have a game tonight, NIT game.
Okay.
We'll watch him drop 40 tonight.
At least.
And then we will get a chance to see the Larry Nerd live in person.
I hope they don't lose tonight.
They won't.
Who do they have?
SMU.
They're supposed to be an attorney. They're not going to lose.
Well, they're playing for second place in the NIT, unfortunately.
Who's going to take home the banner?
Well, the Hawks are hot, baby.
Who?
Iowa.
Can't be hot. You're not in a tournament. You're in the NIT.
Then what's going on with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
They're actually hot.
Are they?
They're not in the Big Ten.
Okay. So Iowa's played much tougher competition all year, and now they're showing, hey, we got teams from the fucking Missouri Valley coming into town. We're going to be doing just fine.
Not many creams in the Big Ten, though.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys are ready for what Robbie Avila is ready to do.
I hope we see them in the title game.
This way, he's talking to you right now. He's talking to you right now. Oh, is that funny, huh? Big Ten Iowa, huh? Iowa? Shh. That's what you just said.
That's okay. Hey, good luck. Good luck getting by SMU tonight. Don't choke.
Is he related to?
Don't choke, Bobby.
Yeah, is that Kareem Abdul Barcode?
Barcode is a man who works for ESPN that looks nothing like him. He's talking about Hot Rod.
No, I
Rodrigo Blankenship.
I
And
can-
that's
oh,
just
yeah. I can
see it.
I was thinking about famous comedian who really recently hosted SNL.
Oh,
Nate Bargatze?
Bargatze. You remember Bargatze? We learned about him there pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Is he still? He's still doing it.
He's still doing it. Yeah, he just released a new
He's
one.
coming back to Indy in June, I believe.
Can't wait to see it. When's Shane coming? Shane coming to Indy?
Good question. He should. I don't know why he
Luke
hasn't.
Combs ain't coming to Indy. yet.
Yeah, Shane, I bet, counts Notre Dame in October as his Indy.
He knows better. He needs to come to Indianapolis.
I hope.
There's been a truck outside our office all day. I've been staring at it.
Yeah, we should check that out.
Oh, it's broken down. It's got its hood up right now. There's been somebody in distress for 3 hours right
Oh,
now.
yeah. Is it?
I've just been looking.
I'm sure they've been in distress.
There's busted down cars right outside the
Where the
Thunderdome.
hell is Anthony Richardson?
Well, he already saved somebody on highways. These are back roads. These guys are taking a long way home. They've been out there a long time. You see them. You can kind of see them, right? Yeah, there's the hood up, and there's a truck on the other side that's jumping them. I've seen the truck for the last couple hours, so I don't know if it ran out of juice, so it wasn't able to get the juice over. Maybe didn't have the cables. Had to go get some down at the store. But, hey, we're on our way. Just like Anthony Richardson, we'll come safe.
Hell yeah.
Have you heard about the traffic coming this way by any chance?
What happened?
When the solar eclipse comes, they are predicting 13 hours of gridlock on the highways and stuff around here because that's how many people are coming to see it.
I got good news. We've talked about this already, and we have tried to piece together the technology behind it. We might have the greatest shot of this solar eclipse that is supposed to be seen at its peak in Indiana.
Bingo.
Because it's happening during our live show.
Yeah.
Well, it's April 6th, right?
8th, I thought.
Oh, well, that would be, we would be in a different state. That'd be Philadelphia.
Oh, no.
Because
We're here.
We're going to miss the eclipse? Oh, no.
The camera will still be set up here.
Who fucking cares? Leave it for the scientists. We're going to be
We're going to have the shot. They're going to use our shot.
We're going to be juiced up with just mania and nothing but mania.
It is the Monday. It's April.
Oh, no.
That's what I thought.
No.
Yeah,
We had it all figured out. We were going to be the shot.
I was hoping we weren't going to talk about it because I knew we weren't going to be here.
Fuck. Anyways, just want to let everybody know, next time this happens.
30 years, you get ready.
We'll all come back. We'll come back.
It'll be a reunion.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it'll be sweet.
Remember the time we missed the thing?
Oh, man.
Gotta come back.
Is that
Gotta do it.
That's a... Whew.
Tony's crushed. He's been talking about this fucking eclipse for
What are you talking about? I bought, company bought, like, real things so that we can shoot this with, like,
really?
4K.
Oh, jeez. Now I feel bad.
We'll find a different
Luckily, he'll
use
still
for
be
him.
here. He'll be filming.
We'll have Tim come over and
It was going to be a live feed.
Get that
I had,
camera
this,
up.
I had this big plan. Ladies and gentlemen, this journalism show is about to debut the greatest shot of a solar eclipse in the history of solar eclipse. Let's cut to it now live. It was going to be live. We had a full
That would have been neat.
telescope
Oh,
That would have been
with a 4K camera.
No.
that's pretty cool.
With a lens that could handle it. It would have been the shot. A lot of people asking for permission. Are we allowed to use your shot? No problem for your news organization. That was the plan. I was gonna do this one right here.
Sure.
I was.
I was gonna be hot horsing the shit out.
Yep.
Who doesn't care about science? Science! Science. We're trying to be the greatest scientists on earth.
Well, we can still do it. Someone will make sure that thing's running.
Yeah, it's a shame.
It is a shame.
It really is.
We're going to figure out how to use it.
Yeah.
The money has already been spent.
Okay.
So we are getting the shot of the fucking solar eclipse.
Yeah.
Have to.
Definitely.
I was excited to see whether it was going to be Mitt or Talk that tore into the Caitlin Clark cereal box to look at the eclipse.
We did get another one from an Iowa fan.
Good.
Got one right here. Caitlin Clark, superstar. Leader of the Iowa Hawkeyes women's basketball team. The reason why we're headed to Iowa on Friday.
Pretty much the only reason.
Yeah, the only reason.
Pretty much the only reason.
The only reason.
So,
future of the Indiana Fever, not
the
to mention that either.
Yep.
Let's get out of here.
Not just Iowa.
Yep.
We'll be back tomorrow with a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Great one.
Today's show pretty good.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Really?
I mean, I thought coming in, it was called Big News Wednesday. Anytime I'm putting that in front of something, that means
no news Wednesday.
Satirically,
none.
Talking about a situation where we gotta, because sports are awesome. Sports are great. But what do we want to actually spend time 3 hours talking about? And what do we want to inform people about?
Bingo.
What do we think we should be the ones talking about? Every day, that is the decision that we have to make. And some days are much better than that. Caleb Williams having his pro day there for the third hour.
That's good.
Huge. Because we don't need to be adding shit into the world about, Bruno Mars, what's going on? Well, it's not real.
Exactly.
Fake.
And we don't want to get caught into that entire thing.
No, we do not.
That was fake?
Fake.
Oh.
Bingo.
Oh.
Yeah, MGM came out
Thank
and said it was.
God.
Also,
I don't know how you would do that.
last day before.
Well, I know.
Yeah,
You play like Bailey McCombs at a blackjack table.
I have no friends or anyone to tell you, just stop it.
That was all a lie, though.
Thank God.
But we thought about talking about that, but we didn't know if it was real or not. Turns out it wasn't real.
Nope.
That's the game you play every day.
And it's the last day, that we needed to have those type of news things because of March Madness tomorrow and Friday.
Thank you, Caleb, for what you did.
Good work.
Hey, kickoff rule. NFL's about to change.
Yeah.
Covered that extensively.
Well, let's hope.
Oh, yeah, we did do some journalism.
Yeah. Big journalism.
And then we yelled at Reese.
Yep.
That was good. That was fun. Need those.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, stand on business.
Stand on business.
I think they're listening to that while they're trying to fix that car. That's why
Probably.
they've been so distracted.
Could be.
All right, if this ball goes in, we'll give away how much?
$0 fucking dollars.
Agreed.
From me.
I agree.
Go ahead, throw the ball.
I agree. I agree.
We learned that today we learned
Double stamp that one.
that these giveaways have
They cause more
Real
fucking
big.
problems. That's what they fucking
$4.5
do.
million we've given away.
That's a lot of moolah.
Over $4.5 million.
You'd think it'd be 4.5 T-shirts.
Pat, you don't think you pay attention to that? No. When I'm just saying, let's do these giveaways. And then the process behind how it works, it's like when you're giving away like 25 people the same amount of money on some like app platforms, it is a little bit of a holdup every once in a while, or when you're an asshole and you're like 50 winners, it's like, okay, now we got to do 50 transactions with this entire thing. So maybe it might take longer than an hour or two.
It might.
After you're announced as a winner.
Yeah.
Might take a couple days actually to do the whole process. We have connections at Venmo now, which we've had to make because they were the one limiting how much money we could give away. I don't think we have connections at PayPal, which some people still use. I don't think we have any connections at Cash App.
Venmo, PayPal, same. I thought PayPal bought Venmo.
They both still exist.
Okay, so we need to hit the Venmo person about the PayPal thing?
I would assume. For like
Whatever the
30 mil.
case, we're giving away a lot of money. So whenever people,
Get a little chirpy.
oh, I didn't.
Yeah, I won 45 minutes ago. Where the fuck's my money?
Bitch
Don't
and
worry.
complain.
That is something that does ruffle some feathers of some people.
Nah, it's just dumb because it causes problem. There's no point to give it away. There's legit like I've done this before, like fuck the giveaways, but now I am actually serious. Like, yeah, I'm out. So if it gets brought up again, fuck that. Don't do it.
Well, today, we're going to not think about all that.
Sure.
We're going to think about the people that say thank you for giving me $500.
You guys changed my life.
Yeah, that whole thing.
Has anyone ever done that?
Yeah,
I've gotten a few, yes. I've gotten a few.
Okay.
Very kind people who I'm happy about. If this ball goes in that bucket over there, we'll give away one shoebox of Gary V. Mons.
Holy shit. So that's what, I mean, that's worth, that's like 75 grand.
It's Gary V. Mons.
Yeah, no.
We could start giving away that pile.
Oh, yeah. Shit that just gets sent. I mean, I'm sure there's really good stuff in there. And there's people that have really good intentions, But we're at the point now where
there's too much shit in here already.
I'm not spending my whole job isn't fucking opening boxes. But like, thank you to everybody that sent the stuff.
We're giving away money.
Huh?
What?
That's just like the last week and a half. So
there you go. You make it, someone gets that box of Flex Seal.
There's a giveaway.
Which we were thankful for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for that Flex Seal. All right, one shoebox Gary Vemont.
Okay.
Now
that might be 10 grand.
It could easily
Could be
10 million.
It's part of the fun.
10 grand would be $2,500 winners. We do that pretty much every time.
Right.
But there is a chance at that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I really want to give away one of these.
Yeah, me too.
Let's focus in. You know what I mean, Pac?
Yeah.
What'd you throw up there?
I threw one of the trolls.
That was close.
You
Hit
got
it
it.
just a little high.
I really wanted that ball to go
Yeah,
in.
it was close.
It landed too.
Good throw for you.
Good throw for you too.
It was, yeah. It was wobbly, though. Look a little bit like a couple balls we saw today.
Oh.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
it got to the
good ball, though.
It got to the spot.
It got there.
Just like Peyton, a lot of wobble. We lost Kurt Warner through wobbles.
Jared Goff does.
Yep.
Jared Goff throws
Brady.
It ain't about pretty. Where, is it A or B or not?
That's right.
Let's get out of here. Thank you all so much for allowing us to do this for a living. We'll be back tomorrow with a big one. March Madness has begun. Great work today, Pac.
Yes, sir. Great work, Pat.
Staying on business.
SLB.
Available now on all platforms.
Right now.
All right, be a friend, tell a friend something nice. Maybe change their car battery if they need it.
Yeah, bingo.
In the middle of a street. Maybe just say, hey, nice shirt. Even if the shirt is obviously not a nice shirt.
Sure.
When that person put on the shirt, they thought, ooh, this is... Yeah, you were nowhere near the ball.
Hey, look closer over here.
It did look
It
much
looked closer over here.
Yeah, it did.
How about I fucking put one.
You
I mean,
almost
I
nailed
fucking
it.
put one like within an inch. You guys, ooh, great throw on the fucking the gnome.
I thought it went in. Your ball.
I mean, you guys are only like 15 feet off. 10
I
feet
mean, it looks like it went in.
Yeah.
It does.
off. That's front rim.
Bummer for all those people.
Well, it was just one winner over Gary Vemont.
Bummer for that one person.
I'm bummed out for that person.
I'm not.
Just because one person.
It hasn't been one person.
Yeah, you're right. It's a lot of people.
Yeah, like well,
It is
let's be
getting
real
annoying.
here.
And
Yeah.
there's a lot of people going, do you actually give away the money? Or, because I won an hour ago and
I don't see anything.
I don't see a single thing. It's like, yeah, we are lucky to be giving away the amount of money we're giving away. And thankful. Oh, yeah. Somebody gave us the wrong Venmo or PayPal or wouldn't give us information that we needed to pay them.
Didn't want us to W-9.
Yeah, because if it's over $5.99, we learned we have to tax. So that's why everything's $500. Used to be more. I used to be giving away like $5,000 to people for these games and things at the other office, like from way back. This has been happening. One person won $1,000. We were like, all right, we have to get your tax information because we're a company. Obviously, this is part of like this whole thing happens. We're paying you enough money that has to be reported. I'm not doing that. I'm not giving you any of that information. It's like, okay, well, we need it or whatever. Conversation ends. Came back 3 years later in an email. Hey, I ever got paid? It's like, we still have all the emails saved. Like we have. And then he said he wanted inflation.
Yep.
That's going to be $1,200, $1,300. That's what we're dealing with.
Well, that's what we're choosing to deal with. Yes.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
That's what we are choosing to deal with.
But 99% of the people are great and thankful.
That is okay.
90% of the people
I even
are
think
great
that's-
and thankful. But it's not as easy just to fucking give away money as it should be.
It's not.
You know, like there's a lot of like banks and cards and the government.
St. Publishers Clearinghouse.
It's not easy. And Publishers Clearinghouse, I don't know how fucking much shit they got to go
Oh,
through.
I know. I can't imagine.
Might be time to bring back the cash wagon.
Cash wagon was a real deal. I've been giving away money since I got money because I think it's hilarious and who gives a fuck, you know? Like, let's do this. Other people need to win this. Not just because, you know, you're a part of something that gets money from folks. Like, sometimes people just deserve to fucking win money. And it's like, some people deserve to be recognized even though they will never put themselves in a position to be recognized. Some people deserve just a little scratch off. Let's go ahead and hit one here.
Yeah.
So I love doing it. We love doing it. But there is always bullshit seemingly with everything that happens.
Yep.
That's life, baby. That's why we keep pushing forward.
What?
That's why whenever you see somebody that's looking a little down,
Yep.
tell them, hey, Ty, Nobody wants to play for your Iowa football team. Who cares? You guys are still going to be good.
We got the guys we need.
Caden Proctor said, I want to go back home, and then said, get me the fuck out of here as soon as he got there.
Yeah.
That does not mean anything about next year, Ty. Don't be bummed out, Ty.
Oh, I'm not. He can go be a turnstile at Alabama. That's fine. Because he kind of was last year. And I didn't say it on the broadcast because he's an Iowa boy, and I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. But that ain't happening anymore.
See, he's bummed out. You hear that negativity?
Very much.
You hear that toxicity?
I was a true freshman.
So I'm going to say, Ty, your hair looks good today.
Hey, thank you.
Con man, the giveaways are fun. Almost as fun as you are on an everyday basis.
Oh, man, that's great, man. You too.
Thank you. Tone Diggs.
Yeah.
How about the Pittsburgh Steelers? Next year's the year that you've been dreaming about for
Super Bowl, baby.
like 10. Boom.
Yeah.
Cowboy hat looks good today.
Thank you.
Pac-Man, always dressed sweet.
Thank you, brother.
And even though you didn't take a single kickoff back to the house, you did get caught by a white person.
Yep.
Who ran a 4.3.
Yeah.
4.32.
4.32.
Man was a dog.
I don't know how I'm just now learning about this particular white. I'm not necessarily thrilled about that. Pac-Man Jones takes it at his goal line. Makes a cut. He has a lane. Shakes the kicker. End zone. In front of Pac-Man Jones. Ooh! An extremely fast white tackles him by the ankles. They'll go and score a touchdown on the next play.
Yeah.
But Pac, it ain't about that. It's about you being a good teammate and setting up the offense and being a good teammate for us and showing up today with great energy.
Hell yeah. Thank you.
All day you've been staying on business, SOB.
Appreciate it, man.
Hell yeah, Pac.
Good boy, Pac.
In the back, great work, boys. Great work back there. You all look so handsome and thin today. Even you, Foxy. People are saying you're starting to look a little fat.
It's muscle.
Not a boy.
That's right. Didn't know they grew muscle in places they were calling you fat, but it's bullshit.
Fat turns to muscle is what they say.
Zion Williamson, you look good, pal.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Be a friend. Tell a friend something nice that might change their life. We're in this thing together. Team on me. Team on three. 1, 2, 3.
Team.
Goodbye.